Nerves, son, you never seem to keep your cool. You're just drowning in the deep end of the pool. Win or lose, yeah, you've just been getting through, but there's something deep inside you've gotta do. Everyone's watching, stepping out in the room. Everyone's watching, seeing what you might do. It's just a shot in the dark, you know, you know, you know. You can't stay where you are, shoot from the heart, you know, you know, you know. You're already this far, and you've been scared of letting go, afraid to even start. Reach for the stars with all that you are. Oh, oh, it's just a shot in the dark. Shout in the dark. Oh. Right on cue. Yeah, the fear holds on to you, and it feels like you're a ghost here in the room. But then you move, just like something's breaking through. We do crazy things with nothing left to lose. Everything stops and no one knows what to do. Everything happens, at least when you expect it to. It's just a shot in the dark. You know, you know, you know. You can't stay where you are. Shoot from the heart. You know, you know, you know, you're already this far, and you've been scared of letting go, afraid to even start. Reach for the stars with all that you are. Oh, oh, it's just a shot in the dark. Oh, it's just a shot in the dark. In the dark, you know, you know, you know. You can't stay where you are. Shoot from the heart, you know, you know, you know. You're already so far. just a shot in the dark. It's just a shot in the dark. Side of the bed, I got good views on my brain. Sun shining on my face, birds singing out my name. Got rhythm in this soul, I'm kick drum on the beat. This world's so colorful like a purple tangerine. Can't bring me down, can't bring me down, no, not today. Can't bring me down, everything's going my way. Yeah, it feels too good, like a picture perfect. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say praise the Lord, hallelujah. Feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Up here on top of the world, you see everything. Daytime a color swirl, not like a diamond ring. I got feelings in these bones, they know a trick or two. So put down your little phone, I'm calling out to you. Can't bring me down, can't bring me down, no, not smile today. Can't bring me down, everything's going my way. Yeah, it feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, I'm happy. Feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. No matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy.
Never really saw you coming until you turned me around. Used to think I was nothing. Look at this love we found. So give me your hand like you said when.
Welcome to Bonus Day, our Time to Thrive Challenge family. How are you showing up today? Put it in the chat. Get up, get moving. We're starting in 15 seconds.
What's up, guys? I see you, Crystal. Jan, playing full out, buddy. Good to see you. Hey, Selena, I see you. What's up, Peggy and Jennifer and Darice and Tracy, Ava, Kara, Francois, Francis, Natasha. Hey, everybody. Good to see you, Anna. What's going on? I see you. Alan, what is going on, buddy? Good to see you, brother. I see you, Deborah. I see you. I see you, Shirley. Travis, what's going on? I can't see your name, but hey. All right, all right. Hey, what's up, Maya? Maya. Mia, I see ya. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. Hey, guys. You know, we missed you. We had all those 5 days together. I figured I got nothing else to do. No, it's good to have you back here for this bonus day. If you're here, we got a great treat for you today. I'll tell you why this day is happening. Yesterday, Tony and I went through the challenge, the Time to Thrive Facebook group, and we probably read 1,000 comments between the two of us. And we're also reading inside. Those of you who are part of Project Next, welcome to the family. Oh my God, you guys are lighting up. There's another Facebook group for just those. And we are reading both the groups. And we're watching the transformation in one, and we're watching so many amazing questions come in on the Time to Thrive challenge Facebook group. And we're like, we got to go live one more time to really bring some juice today, but answer some of your top questions. Some of those questions are in here. I got 10 things I'm going to go over in 10 minutes today that I think, well, they'll be great for you forever, no matter what you do. And I want to answer some of the logical questions. Tony will be here today. Who's ready to get a little more Tony Robbins? We got 2 other special guests. We're going to try to do this whole day in about 90 minutes. We're going to try to go less. But today's a really impactful day. Again, those of you with red backgrounds, those of you a part of Project Next, oh my God, you are lighting it up. What's going on in that group is unbelievable. I'm so proud of you guys. And for those of you who still have questions, I think today's the day we're going to work our tail off to answer those questions, but still give you capabilities and training so you can make a smart decision, because we're getting close. We're only a couple days away from this offer going away forever. And I would hate for you guys to wait until the day after and go, So today's about next level. Today's about taking that action, about moving forward, about being bold. But it's going to be a really special day. If you think I didn't stay up late going back and forth with Tony and the team and saying, what is the best thing we can deliver today? That's exactly what we're going to do. First thing, I want to bring this up. Can you bring up this slide? It's a really sloppy looking slide. I know that. But I've read so many comments, and I just want to read you some of the comments inside the Project Next group. If you're in Project Next, I'd love for you to share. What's it mean to you so far? What's Module 1 meant to you so far? Because it's been so amazing. Let me read you some of these. I'm only going to read the highlighted ones. But Michelle said, this has been one of my better decisions. Might rank in the top 5. Thanks, Michelle. Dallas said, every word of this is pure gold. The love and the care and the expertise that's put into this is apparent. You know why I put that? Because I want my team to see that. We've obsessed over every bit of this course, so it validates all the hard work. Listen, I've been going nonstop, and if you could see, I'm full of energy today. I even went crazy. Anybody notice I have a blue shirt on today? I switched from gray. It's a special day, Deanne, right? It's a special day. I'm going with blue, right? Bonnie said, signed up today, and I'm halfway through Module 1. I already can't wait to get up tomorrow and get back at it. Adela said, just completed Module 1 and still wiping tears from my eyes listening to Dean's stories. Hey, you know the number one thing, if you've already been through it, who loved the 7 levels deep in Module 1 if you're there already? That seems to be one of the most popular things of Module 1. Brandon Murphy, Dean was not lying when he said 10 pages of notes just from Tony. That's a true story. I have at least 10 from that first module. Eloise, this is jaw-dropping stuff. I finished Module 1. I have not felt this alive and empowered in a very long time. Eloise, thank you for the beautiful comments. You just keep pushing us forward. And Catherine, I see a hole in your heart. I hope you feel the same way. It's this. Listen, when you work as hard as we've done, it's great if we got 60 years in this, but if we created you a crappy-ass course and it didn't take you through the journey, giving you what you want and need, we didn't do our job. So when you do that much work on something and you watch transformation happening, who's seeing transformation already happening in the Facebook group? Isn't that amazing? And then the last one, I'll just share this with you. Kalan, I hope I said that right. Not an over-exaggeration. 5 days of Time to Thrive and 2.5 modules into Project Next. It has changed my life. More than 5 years of university at $72,000. This really is a revolution. So I wish I could do thousands of these, but I would bore you guys. But thank you for that. It drives us. And one of the reasons we're here, because we were reading all that inside those that made a decision. And in Time to Thrive, everybody's like, I love this, but what if I'm an introvert? What if I don't know my dot? What if my husband doesn't support me? What if I don't have time? And like, oh my God, please don't miss this. So today, it's not just about persuading you to take action. Today is getting you to think, so you take your next bold move. I hope it's with us, but if it's not with us, do something, because you're here because you want change. You wouldn't hang out with us 5 days. In fact, you wouldn't be here for a bonus day if you weren't ready for what's next. So who's ready for what's next, right? As Matthew McConaughey said, just do something, right? Was that great? I hope you guys saw day 4. That was so cool. And he's like, just do something, right? But I want to share something that I start sharing really quick within our family. And we call it a family. And a lot of people say that, but we really do. We really have built in a family once you become a part of this community. I went live this morning in the other Facebook group, which I do every Monday, and really builds a sense of community. But I want to share something with you right now that I want you to hear. This is Monday. This is an extra bonus day. I want it to be more casual. You guys okay if it's just more casual and we have a great time learning today? Here's a little secret. We are in the same business now. Does that make sense? We're in the same business. So when you watch what we do, when you watch how we deliver our courses, what we share, what we do, not only should you be learning, what else should you be doing? If you're part of our family already, what do you know? You should be modeling, right? You should be modeling what we're doing. That's right. Caroline, you were the first one that said it, right? You could say, oh my God, that's a breakthrough. And holy crap, when I teach, I'm going to model that. I'm going to model that headline. I'm going to model that email. I'm going to model the philosophy. Listen, we are going to close this offer down, and you'll see it really goes away. Agatha, good to see you again. You know what I'm talking about. Like, why are we doing it this way? Why so many bonuses? And we got 2 more bonuses for you today, which is going to blow your mind. Yes, we got Lisa Nichols to push in a bonus. Was Lisa Nichols amazing? Oh my God, if you saw her, holy crap did she touch my heart. So she literally said, I didn't know everybody was giving bonuses. She's got something killer. So all of you already in Project Next, you got a Lisa Nichols bonus coming. And we got another one to share with you today too. But I'm going to share something with you right now that most people don't get. And this is a learning lesson for yourself, because you're going to go, wow, I'm one or the other. But again, today is the first day I want you to look through both. I'm learning, and holy crap, I need to model. Learning, model, learning, model. Make sense? Take notes for both. So, there are 2 types of people on this planet. There are logical buyers, and there are emotional buyers. Okay? I'm an emotional buyer. Many of you with a red background are already in Project Next are like me. I see something, I know I want it, I go all in, I jump in, I'm going, I get emotional. When I was 10 years old, I'd watch an infomercial and be like, Mom, can I have a credit card? I need to buy that. Like, I'm an emotional buyer. I see something I want, I go for it. I don't want everything, but when I know I want it, no hesitation, I'm in. And when I go in, I go all in. I'm the type that I have a white Ford pickup truck that I drive, and I absolutely love it. I have another car too, but I love this white Ford pickup truck. Someone on my team got one about a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm like, I want one of those. I had a truck when I was 16. I have a truck. I went to the dealership to buy that truck. I saw it, and I said to the dealer, hey, I'm going to take that truck. And I did this when I had no money. So please, this is not about a money thing. My first car I bought, I did the same thing when I was 17 years old. But I went and I said, I'll take that Ford truck. And he said, you want to drive it? I'm like, nope. I know what they're like. I said, if I can leave here in about 45 minutes with that truck, I'll take it. That's how I bought my white Ford pickup truck outside. I just didn't want to be sold to. I didn't want to go through I want that truck. I made the decision. If I watch a webinar sometimes and I love the content, I'm like, please drop the link. I want your product. Please don't wait anymore. Give me the link. Now, I'm an emotional buyer. Doesn't make me any more successful than a logical buyer. On the other side is a logical buyer. That's my sister. We came from the same parents. She's massively successful as well. If I told my sister I bought my truck that way, she would think I'm the most insane, crazy human on the planet. Now, my sister, she would go to 3 car dealerships. She would test drive every single one of them. She would look for the best deal. She would call her insurance company to say, hey, if I get a truck, is it going to add, what is my coverage going to be? She'd sit down and talk with her husband. She would Google consumer affairs and see, is a Ford pickup truck a good truck? She's a logical buyer. She thinks I'm absolutely insane. And if I did what she did, I'd rather pull my toenails out than to go through all that. Like, make a freaking decision, right? But here's what I want to tell you. What most people do, I'm so glad my emotional buyers are here today because we're going to deliver some massive value. Tony's got something up his sleeve that he wants to share with you guys. He is stoked to share with you. 2 other guests. I'm glad you're here. But you know what today is really? Today's for logical buyers, because you need to get your questions answered. You need your I's dotted. You need your T's crossed. And you need to have that ability to make a smart decision. You see, my sister, once she gets her questions answered, she gets out of her head, she gets into her heart, and she makes a decision. That's why she's successful. When I started investing in real estate, I always pushed my sister to do it. And 2 years in, I'm like, why aren't you doing real estate? I've given you all this stuff. I'm showing you what I'm doing. Because she really analyzed and thought through it. Now my sister owns a massive amount of real estate. Incredibly successful in her business, her and her husband. They're incredible. Just different. So today, know that today is about the day as a logical buyer. If you're not in on Project Next, but you still feel pulled. If you're still here, that means you need to be a part of it. Be here to get those questions answered so you can feel safe to go from your head to your heart so you can go all in. Is that good? Do you understand that? And why I'm sharing that with you is because I watch so many people in the world, and it's unfair. They market to emotional buyers. They market to someone who can make an immediate decision, and all the logical buyers are left behind. It's like, if you just would have spent a little more time with me, I would have done it. So you miss 50% of the people. Right now, raise your hand if you would consider yourself an emotional buyer. Like, I make fast purchases really quick. Okay? Raise your hand, put it down. Raise your hand if you would consider yourself a little more logical. I want to understand what this is all about. It's the other half, right? So hear me. This is your learning lesson. When you start selling your course, your program, or if you're already doing it, I guarantee you will tend to market to who you are. You'll market to who you are. And if you market to who you are, if you're a logical buyer, you're leaving out all the emotional people. And if you're an emotional buyer, you'll market to them and you'll leave out the logical people, and you're leaving half the people behind. I don't want to leave out logical buyers because you need this course. You need to be a part of this family. You need to be on the Monday Lives. You need to get Module 1 just as much as our fast decision makers. And some of the reasons, kind of pulling back the curtain more, some of the reasons we do today and tomorrow and before we close this, and like, I think this offer goes away forever, either Wednesday night or Thursday night, forever, right? Why is there a countdown? Because we want you to get those questions answered and say, okay, I got amazing value those days. I need to do this. I want to do it. Got my questions answered. I understand it. I'm going all in. And make that decision before the timer. Because some of you real overly logical buyers, you take forever to make a decision. And usually when that happens, there's regret tied to the other side of it. Like, that really was for me. What the hell held me back, right? And we're just going to work really hard to make sure we get those questions answered. You guys ready for a killer day? You guys still feeling that you're meant for more? Put it in the chat. Who's meant for more? Just say, I am. I am. You don't have to put the whole meant for more, but I am. That's why we're here. You'd be doing something different on a Monday, and Tony and I hope you could see our dedication to serving all of you right where you are, because we wouldn't be here today. Okay, so I told you that story about my sister and myself. Now I want to go through 10 things. This is going to be rapid fire. 10 things. I'm going to try to do it in 10 minutes that can be a game changer for life. You see, we got thousands and thousands and thousands of questions. In fact, just so you guys know, we're exactly 24 hours behind on email, and we have 22 people answering emails nonstop. But when you have 800,000 people in the challenge, tens of thousands of emails come in. So if you sent an email and you're like, I didn't get a reply, please know it is massively important. Our tech team and customer support team worked all weekend, all through the night. They will be caught up. By the end of the day, they should be almost caught up. So if you have a question, know it'll get answered, okay? You guys got that? But we had so many questions, and what we did is had our team kind of merge them into buckets of like, what's holding back? And we got some logical questions and some kind of like housekeeping to explain difference between Project Next and Mastermind, really clear that up, all those pieces. So it's just a few of those things. But I looked through the emotional side, and I found this cadence, and I got 10 things in 10 minutes that I want to share that I think can help you forever. You guys ready for this? We're going to go kind of quick, okay? Okay. And if someone is so nice to put these in the chat, that would be awesome. Number one, once you have the resources, right? You don't have to write this yet, but you should in your journal. Once you have the resources, Project Next, whatever resources you need to do what you do. Then the resources of the knowledge, as I did on day 5, the how, right? The capabilities. Once you have the knowledge from someone who's already been there, then once you have the resources, we must be resourceful. Successful people are resourceful. Meaning, if something comes up, timing, let's be resourceful with our time. Let's be resourceful, let's innovate. Let's ask the right questions. Resourcefulness. If I could my greatest gift that I could give to my children is not leave them a lot of money, because that's resources. How many people have you heard of that have won the lotto? Big pile of money, that's resources. And then they're broke a year later. Why are they broke? They had resources, but lacked resourcefulness. If you've ever bought a course in the past, it wasn't as good as ours, but if you bought a course in the past and you didn't do anything, you might have got stuck on module 1 and you didn't create any resourcefulness to innovate, create, and get to module 2 and make it happen and implement, right? So the greatest gift I could give my children is to be resourceful. I'd rather give them resourcefulness as when they read the will than a big pile of money. So remember that. Why do people with no money, why do underdogs outperform in a lot of cases people that aren't underdogs? Because they found a way to be resourceful. So number 1, resourcefulness. So we can write that in the chat, resourcefulness. All right. Number 2, and thank you, Stephen, for writing it out that way. Number 2, choose courage over fear. Choose courage over fear. I think that's really important to understand, is that we must choose courage over fear. We must choose faith over fear. We must choose faith over fear. Could you turn the screen off in front of me, guys? It's distracting sorry, they got stuff going on back there and it's coming up on my screen. All right, thank you. Choose faith over fear. What is courage? Courage is moving forward, not in the absence of fear. This is Tony Robbins' definition 101. It's moving forward even though you're scared to death. Courage is jumping out of the plane and growing wings on the way down. People say, I love when Tony says, people said, no, I'm a perfectionist. No, you're afraid to invoke the courage muscle in your life. A lot of times in life we say, I'm a perfectionist. It's just your protection to say, I need to wait till every question is answered and I got to make sure everything's perfect and my husband's got to support me and I got to make sure it's the right time and it's the right president, it's the right environment and I got to wait till I'm out of school. I see you, Diane, right? Sometimes we are waiting for the perfect moment and that moment never comes, and that's the end of our lives looking at the video of the woman we could have been. Sometimes we have to evoke our courage muscle and just say, I'm going for it. The great thing is sometimes, like in this case with Project Next, you can model and be a part of our family. So you're following a guide, but you have to take the action. So we must choose courage over fear. We must choose faith over fear. Right? How many of us believe in something bigger than ourselves? In most cases, we didn't see it. We have the faith there's something bigger. That conviction is what changes everything. So choose courage over fear. And you can put that in the chat. Told you I'd go quick on these. Number 3, what is regret? Now, again, I want to share this with you. Everything I'm sharing with you now is the same thing your clients are going to feel. Learn, model. Hearing that? Learn and model, right? Regret. Sometimes we think about, am I going to get a return on investment? If I invest in this, am I going to get a return? But I got one that I want you to compare. COI. Put that in the chat. COI. What the heck's COI? What is the cost of inaction? Oof, think about that one. What's the cost of inaction? What's the cost of just staying where it's at? Of not exploring who you could be? So many times we think of, what could it cost to do this? What could it cost you not to do this? And think about that in your own niche. If you don't help someone through the marriage, find themselves, eat better, get healthier, lose the weight, love themselves, or all the million other niches, what is the cost of your potential client not doing it? Do you see why I'm here today? This is not a sales pitch. This is saying, if you're ready to do this, if I don't invoke a momentum or an action to you to take, what's going to be different in 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? What is the cost of you not doing this or doing something? If not this, do something. The Matthew McConaughey line, I don't care what it is, just go. Because staying where you are is the worst thing in history, because I love that saying, if you're not climbing, you're sliding. If you're not doing anything, we are sliding and you don't even see it. So I want you to not think about the return on investment. That's a no-brainer. You have all the opportunity to get the return on investment. But what's the cost to you if you do nothing? Cost of inaction. Okay, number 4. Cost of inaction. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Annette. Number 4 is expense over investment. Expense over investment. I wrote down the difference between buying a Starbucks or buying a cappuccino machine. One is a cost, one is an investment, right? I know that's a silly analogy, but our brains are really messed up. I'll talk to people sometimes, or I'll talk to even my daughter who's 15, her friends, or my wife's younger sister's friends, and sometimes they'll say, Alex Hermosi said that. He was talking about the day he was here about the girl that could go to school for a weekend and triple her pay. And she's like, I don't want to pay that. But someone will go out, a 27-year-old girl will go out and take all her money and buy a $2,000 purse just because it looks trendy, but won't consider buying a $1,000 course that could change her life forever, and she could buy a purse a week for the rest of her life. Like, our brains are fundamentally flawed when it comes to investing in ourselves, right? We think of expenses like, I go to the mall and drop $500. I go to the mall and drop $100. Go to here and do this. But I don't know, should I invest in this course or training that could change my life forever? I have to think about that. So we must not only, Nemanja, I see it laughing, right? Right? It's like, I got the purse. What about the course? Nah, it's $1,000. Yeah. Oh my God. One is an expense. You took the money and you punted it. You pushed it down the drain. It's gone forever. And one can fundamentally shift your life forever. I'm telling this to you, but I'm also telling it to you so you understand when you share your course, your mastermind, your workshop, you have to remember that you're going to have to help people in some cases see the difference between the two. They get to invest to shift their life, to be the bridge builder, to go from where they are to where they want to be. And once they understand the difference, things change forever. I look through a completely different lens, and I hope you guys all do, especially by the time you're done with Project Next. You'll never look at the self-education industry again, ever, for the rest of your life. Okay, number 5. I'm going through these as quick as I can. You guys feeling these? Who's glad you showed up today for this bonus day? Raise your hand. I see you, Phyllis. I am so glad you're here. I see you, Sylvia. I'm so glad. Crystal, Arwen, Sharon, Mary. I see you, Erica. Okay, number 5. Choose to say no so you can say yes. Choose to say no. I heard this once. It stuck with me forever. Yes got you out of Egypt, and no will take you to the promised land. Yes got you out of Egypt, no will take you to the promised land. The only way we can get to where we want to be is there are some things in our lives we must say no to, right? Some of the yeses that you used to do fit the old you. They have to go, and it has to be a hard no. Does it serve that next level you, or does it not? And if it doesn't serve that next level you, then it's got to go. Hey, one quick thing in the chat. If you have a question for me, I want to pick on a few people today. I'm sorry, I just went squirrel. I want to pick on a few of you today and do some hot seats or just answer your question. Arwen, stop laughing at me, right? I get it. I have a little bit of ADD. See, it works though. But I want to do a couple hot seats today. I just decided that, and the only way I could do it, if you have a question for me, if you'd like to jump on the screen with me, please just put the question in the chat. Squirrel. See, I'm successful with ADD. The person yesterday was talking about it, right? So if you have a question, think about it for the next 3 to 4 minutes and pop it in there while you're still listening to me. Thumbs up? Okay. See, it's way more casual today. Okay. But choosing no. I have this crazy thought. I create visuals in my head for almost everything. And I think about life as like a bookshelf. And on that bookshelf is our whole life. Time with family, time with our children, time with our spouse or significant other, time at work, time sleeping. Like there's a bookshelf. And there's other things you do. Maybe there's an hour a day surfing online. Maybe there's hanging out with that one negative friend that always makes you feel like crap. Whatever that is, right? That's the bookshelf. Here's the secret. Everybody's bookshelf is full. There's no empty gaps to stick a new book. I see you shaking your heads, right? There's no empty space. So what we must do is we must throw something away to open that space. It's like, do you ever go through your closet and there's all these clothes that you still keep that you think someday you're going to wear? If you haven't worn it in a year, I'm just going to tell you, Phyllis, you're never going to wear it ever again for the rest of your life. It's just a fact. I'm sorry. It's got to go. Give it away. Donate it. Give it to somebody who needs it. It's the same way with your bookshelf about your life. There is crap books on your bookshelf that you're never going to read. They don't serve you. They were great for your 20, 30, 40, 50 something. They don't serve the woman or the man you are now, and you have to pull those books out and punt them and get rid of them. But when the gap opens up, that's when we say yes to our next level. We say yes to, I'm building this course. I'm creating this coaching program. I'm doing this workshop. I'm writing my first book. I'm going to have a podcast. I'm going to build a tribe. And all of a sudden, when you really throw out the books that don't serve you, if you really threw out the clothes in your closet that you don't wear, how many would you have left? Seriously, 80-20 rule, exactly. Seriously, if you threw out the clothes in your closet, you know deep down you're never going to wear, you'd have 20 things in your closet. True? It's the same thing on your life bookshelf. You got to throw out the crap in the books you're not reading anymore and replace them with these capabilities. Make sense? Black t-shirts, it's pretty much my closet. I have a blue one. I had a red one too. I almost wore red today, but I forgot it. So we're going blue. Okay, number 6. Commitment over convenience. Commitment over convenience. Lisa hammered that home. Commitment over convenience. What does that mean? Okay, I heard this years ago from a gentleman named Dave Kekage. Dave Kekage had these Kekage credos. He put them on this little card. It folded out. It was like a business card that folded out and had all these things on it. And Dave was someone, he was a runner, and he got hit by a car and was paralyzed from the neck down. And he found a way to be the most empowering, strong human being dealing with that. I can't imagine. I won't pretend to imagine. But one of his Kekage credos was simply this: living the easy way is hard, and living the hard way is easy. Ooh, think about that one. Living the easy way is hard, and living the hard way is easy. He said it's easy to sit on your couch and binge out on TV and eat pizza and McDonald's. That's easy. But when you're older and you have diabetes or you're unhealthy from eating bad, that's hard. It's easy not to go to the gym today. But it's really hard when you can't play with your grandchildren when you're 70 years old because you didn't take care of yourself. It's easy to say, I'm just going to collect this money from the job I have. I should be blessed. That's easy today. But hard when you're 70 years old and you realize you never lived into your full potential and you don't have the savings you wanted to have. It's easy to say, hey, trying my new thing. That's a little uncomfortable. I might have to address some demons today. My friends might think I'm crazy. That's a little harder today. But it's way easier on the other side when you're a strong, independent human doing your own thing, impacting others and creating real success. That's easy. I took the hard route in many ways in my life. Family told me I was nuts. People told me I was crazy. Inner self-doubt told me you're going to go broke. You're going to lose it all. But I fought through that because I knew I was meant for more. And now I get an easier world because I get to be independent. I get to be with my children, my wife, my kids. I get to be with you guys here today. I get to serve people from all around the world because I did the Kekage credo of live the hard way for a little bit so you can leave the easy way later. Make sense? All right. Number 7. Schedule it. Schedule it. When you talk about it, it's just a dream. When you dream about it, it feels amazing. When you schedule it, it becomes real. So, I talked about a little bit ago of that bookshelf, and we're going to throw out a couple of books. Today, I would like you to audit your bookshelf. Okay? Audit your bookshelf today and throw some of those babies out. Make some space. And once you make some space, schedule time to go through Project Next. Schedule Module 1. Schedule Module 2. We're going to be live together this Friday is our first training, but after that until the World Summit, it's every Thursday. Schedule it. If you're at work and you can't, they're recorded. Schedule when you're going to come home and watch it. Don't go, oh, they did that training today. I'll watch it this week. No, I'm watching it Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Tell the kids I love them, but I'm going in the room and I'm watching this with my journal. Schedule it. It becomes real. When you say, I'm going to go to the gym next month, that's different than saying, I'm going to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 6 a.m. One gets you results, one keeps you a dreamer. Let's just stop dreaming. Listen, the best goal that we could have as a family, and those of you in Project Next, is all of us to carry this across the finish line. You want to give back to Tony? Literally, there are comments of people, and you see them inside the group. I can't believe they did all this for us for this price. I feel like I took advantage of them. You guys, Lois, you seeing those comments? They're everywhere. Like, oh my God, I got my value out of Module 1. They didn't even get to any of it yet. You know how you say thank you? Do it. Stop dreaming. Let's get after it. Sarah, you ready? Sarah Cole, you ready to get after it? That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to do, so schedule it. Number 8, decide what inner voice you're going to listen to. Just decide today, right? I told you about the story when I was going in this industry. I was taking that walk. You're not Tony Robbins. You don't have a following. You don't have a lot of money. You're not 6'7". You're not dynamic. You don't have all these magical people in your life. You literally are an upstate New York guy who works on cars. There was that voice that's saying, stop being a dreamer. You should feel happy with the life that you have. And then there was other voice that said, piss off. I'm meant for more. I can do this. Nobody's going to stop me. We both have both voices. You just got to decide which one to listen to. And if you know that voice is coming, really hear me. If you know the voice is coming, it's like you know the enemy's coming like 6 days in advance. You don't just sit there and wait for him to attack you, right? If you knew the enemy was coming 6 days in advance, you'd barricade, you'd put the walls up, and you'd fight back. So you know that story's coming, Mary Jo. You know it's going to come and say, hey, you sure you can do this? You've never done anything like this before. This is for dreamers. You can't really, you know the voice is coming, so barricade yourself, because here's what I know. That voice has already cost you way too much. That's a fact. So which voice are you going to listen to? Somebody writing that down? Which voice are you going to listen to? Number 9. The first step is always the scariest. The first step. The first step, I believe today, and that's why I'm here for your logical buyers before this offer goes away. Your first step is to join Project Next. Those of you that are in it, you've already made that first step. So remember that URL, joinprojectnext.com, because I'm hoping you do it today, but don't wait till Friday, because Friday that link will say, sorry, offer gone. And that is the worst feeling, right? So the first step is say, I'm going in. I'm betting on me. I'm going after my next level. But the next step is going in and scheduling Module 1. And know that we know the first step is the scariest, and that's why we designed Module 1 the way we did. Who's happy, those of you with the red screen, who's happy that you made that first step? Right? Put it in the chat so those that aren't can see that. Right? Number 10. Here's a big one. You guys ready for this? Number 10 is this. Your certainty must be stronger than anyone else's. Your certainty must be stronger than anyone else's, because other people will doubt you. But here's the thing that I wrote last year and the year before and the year before and maybe 15 years in my life, and I wrote it to myself. And until your certainty can be your strength, borrow Tony and I's. Because we're so certain you can do this. You can borrow people's credibility. You can borrow their confidence. You can borrow our certainty. Hear this conviction in my voice. You don't need anyone else's permission. And I'm talking to those of you with the red backgrounds that are already in. You don't need anybody's permission. You made a bold first move. Now find the certainty in you with the right voice, saying no to the wrong things, saying yes to the right things, and let's borrow our certainty, or borrow the certainty from the group on every Monday. Find the certainty to say, I'm doing this. I have the conviction. I have the capabilities. I have the roadmap. I'm doing this. Who's doing this? Raise your hand if you say, I'm doing this. Thank you for everybody writing these out. How'd you guys like those 10? I didn't do it in 10 minutes, but I did it in about 15 minutes, right? Those 10 things will apply to all areas of your life, but they should apply for you to take action. Simultaneously, you should take those for when it's your turn to get people to take action. Listen, I know what this course could do for me. I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I know. So I'm okay with pushing and letting you think these, because I read thousands of comments of those of you inside saying, thank God I did this. What if I missed this, right? Don't you want that same feeling for your clients when you help them get from where they are to where they want to be? You want them to go, I don't know if I should do this. Okay, I did it. And then they go in, they're like, thank freaking God I did it. That is our goal, right? That's your goal, my goal, and our collective goal. We're in the same business now. Think about that. Okay, that was the logical questions. I saw all those in there, and I know Tony's got something special he wants to share with you here in a little bit. We have 2 other guests between that. Who's all in to stay with me for the next hour? And when Tony comes on, we got to light it up. That guy's super busy today, but after reading all weekend, he's like, I got to be there. Okay, I want to go through a couple of these are more logical questions, but I'm going to do these in 2 minutes that we had about Project Next. I want to share again the difference between Project Next and Mastermind. I know I did it yesterday. Mastermind is the software. It is the place where you make your course real, okay? Project Next is all the other stuff. It's the course, the 6-module course. It's the immersion. The course where everybody say I'm in module 1, that's what we have instant access to. The 6-week live training, that's part of Project Next. All the crazy bonuses, every single one of the bonuses, all of that is yours for life when you buy Project Next. It never goes away. There's never a time where you don't have access to that. It's yours. Make sense? Mastermind is the tool, the software we built. So when you learn all that knowledge, you take it and you make it real. All the sites we saw day after day were all on Mastermind. Tanner built that site on Mastermind. And here's what it is. We're giving you 3 months for free. Go out and look at the competition. It's a lot more than what we charge. We charge after the 3 months, if you want to keep Mastermind, it's $47 a month. That's it. And here's the thing that we do. You look at the competition. It's anywhere from $97 to $297 a month for something like that. Other sites take a percentage of your sales. We don't take anything. It's yours. $47 a month. You have the delivery system. You have the implementation tool. And our goal is to work so hard that by the time you get there, sales are already coming in. You're like, oh my God, that's ridiculous that I get all this for that. And here's the cool part. In Mastermind alone, there's weekly trainings. There is a new course launched to the community, the Mastermind community, every month. I didn't even bring all that stuff up because I didn't want to overwhelm you. This is our idea of over-delivering. So is that really clear, guys? Is for the course, you get everything, every bonus. It's yours for life. We're giving you 3 months to get it up for free. And at the end of the 3 months, if you want Mastermind, do nothing. It's $47 a month. We take nothing else. You sell, it's all your money. If you say, I don't really want the Mastermind thing, but I got all of this, you keep it. No money, nothing. You don't have to return any of it. Is that clear? Hopefully I answered those questions. If you have more questions on that, please ask it. Do not let something silly like that, like, I don't know if I should buy this course because what about in 4 months if it's $47 a month? If you're not that committed, then you are not committed. You're worrying about how it's not going to work rather than saying, I'm going to make this work. That 47 will be nothing because I'm making this real. Does that make sense? Switch your brain right now. If that's the thing, Deirdre, I see you saying it, right? Like if that's the thing holding you back, then you're not committed. When you say you're all in and you're meant for more, you're really not. You're like, what if it doesn't work in 4 months? What if I let myself down? Screw that. That's why I went over the first 10. Make sense? You guys get this? Lena, I'm all in. All right, good. Okay. No portion. We don't take any of your sale money. The World Summit dates, I said that, but it's September 16th, 17th, and 18th. Put it on your calendar today. You do not want to miss that. If you like the challenge, woo, you're going to freak out over those 3 days. How long are the 6-week coaching sessions? I would say plan on an hour. Again, first one is this Friday. Do not miss it. It's the onboarding. It's the welcome. It's going to be incredible. And then it's every Thursday after that. 10 o'clock a.m. and about an hour. 10 or 11 o'clock. It doesn't have the date here. So they're going to be about an hour long. They'll be at Thursdays. And then we're going to do those all the way up to the World Summit on that 16th, 17th, and 18th. And they're recorded so you can listen to them afterwards. Okay, I think I answered. I hate answering those, but I got to because the last thing I would hate is for you not to do this over something so silly, right? So, guys, who's glad you're here today? You got to keep telling me this because I switched my whole Monday to be with you. Okay? Oh my God, it's 3 a.m. So there's some people up at 3 a.m. right now. So now let's get to, oh, you know what I want to do? I want to do a quick hot seat. I'm in Project Lemon, but I have 2 dots that are totally, okay. Let's bring up Lisa Williams in room 7. Lisa Williams, room 7.
Hi.
Hey, Lisa Williams.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm so great. I'm so excited to meet you and be a part of this. I've gone every day crying.
That's okay, though. Are you feeling it, though? Are you ready for this?
I am. I am more than ready.
Yeah.
I was ready on day 1.
You know what? And sometimes, Lisa, thank you. And I've never met you before, Lisa. It's a pleasure to meet you. Where are you from?
From Atlanta, Georgia.
From Atlanta, Georgia. Let's give it up for Lisa in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, what I love sometimes, I love when you know you've been meant to do something different. And when and I could see it in the first 3 seconds of talking to you, when you have that conviction and say, I'm doing this. When I say you're all in, I could tell you're all in. Is that true?
It is true.
And sometimes we do have to get a little emotional to make a decision. Sometimes logic doesn't move us. We need an emotion. And your question today is, I'm in Project Next, congratulations, but I have 2 dots that are totally different. Can I have 2 dots or do I choose 1? Here's what I want to tell you. What I would consider for all of you, I have more than 1 dot, right? So Tony and I have this, right? But I also have a personal development program, and I also write a book about every 2 or 3 years, right? So I have different dots but they're all in alignment. Tony, right? Tony teaches people now with Life Force how to be better with their health and how to get the best life they possibly can. He wrote Money Master the Game to show people how to be better with their finances. He has Business Master. He has Date with Destiny that changes your life forever, and he has UPW, but he did it over time. He didn't start day 1 with 5 different things. So this is what I want to tell all of you. I would say absolutely, the answer is absolutely yes, you can have more than 1 dot, but I would start with 1. Because 1 will get you through the process. You'll build 1 page in Mastermind. You'll build 1 headline. You'll dial in your dot. You'll find your ideal client. You'll build a tribe for them, and you'll learn the whole process. And then the greatest gift in the world, and I wish this for you sooner than later, is that first sale. Because once you have a first sale, can I tell you why we obsess on the first sale? Is because what is the greatest gift of the first sale? Not only the story, not only that you put money in your bank account, is if you could do something once, can you do it again? And then can you do it again? And then you learn and you do it again. And then you learn and you do it again. Momentum. There you go, Stephanie, right? So I'm sorry, I've been dominating this conversation. I'm like angst today. I'm so excited about what's going on. But I want you to hear me, everybody. If you have 3 dots, 7 dots, 2 dots, niches, pick 1. And get it done. Go deep. Learn the process. Teach some people. Get used to communicating. Get used to sharing. Get used to filming on your phone while you're walking, or if you want to film it in get used to all that stuff. Start making sales. Start building a tribe. Understand where you start, you're still going to get deeper. Sometimes when you start teaching, you go, oh my God, they need me to share this. I better share this too. And they need me to share this. I'll share this. Like today. I came back today because I read thousands of comments, and I'm like, they need me to come today. Tony's like, they need us to come today to share these specific things. We learned, right? So what I'd say is go all in on 1, learn, crack the code, create your process, and when it's working, boom, you can go into number 2. Does that help?
Awesome. That does help. That does help. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I barely let you talk. Is there anything else you want to ask me? That was just dominated by me. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm glad that you answered my question. That's the one thing I've been hovering over this whole time. And I knew I was going to sign up for the course already for Project Next. So I did that. But no, I'm good. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, first off, Lisa, everybody give it up for Lisa.
Thank you. Thanks, y'all.
All right. So, before we could you bring that screen down, please? Before we go to our first guest here today that I'm really excited for you guys to learn from, One more thing that should be number 11 of the 10. Number 11 of the 10 should be, don't let one decision. Lisa didn't. But some of you, because I saw the difference of comments inside the group once you're in, and the group that of the Time to Thrive is like, I'm just not sure. I have like 3 dots. Don't let indecisiveness stop your momentum, right? Lisa didn't, but I know some of you are thinking, well, if I knew my dot, then maybe I do this. That's our job. And module 2 is it to help you dial in your dot. I promise when Lisa's done with module 2, she won't be confused at all. She'll say, oh, this is the one I'm doing. I'm going all in on this first. That's our job. So don't prejudge this, or don't let an indecisive or a non-decision stop you from moving forward, right? Chevette, appreciate all the comments. Okay, so guys, write this down. Join projectnext.com. If it sounds like I'm working hard to enroll those that aren't in yet, I am, because I don't want you to miss this. And when that page closes in a couple of days, I promise you, we will have thousands of comments saying, please no. But we stick to our guns. Could you still buy Project Next? Yes, but you're not going to get the price and all the crazy bonuses. And we have 2 more killer bonuses that are being stacked up today. It is really amazing. So I'm just going to leave that there for you to write down and just go do it. All right, our first speaker. What I love about this first speaker and why I've asked them to be here with you guys is because this is someone who was sitting right where you were 4 years ago when he had a corporate job. I'll let him tell you a story. He had a corporate job commuting from New Jersey to New York City, going back and forth, and thought, man, I should be happy. And something called him to do something different. Something called him to have a different kind of life, to serve others, to impact others. And he took uncomfortable action and went all in and ended up quitting that job and got so good at what he does. He got so good as a coach that we noticed him, and we noticed him growing in the community and making impact. And then we ended up having a training here, and he ended up being here at the training. And he was doing so good and cared so much that even though his business was crushing it, Tony and I made him a proposal and said, you're doing so well, you're growing so fast, you were literally on a Zoom screen not that long ago, and now you're here. Would you come work with us? And this man, because of his drive, because of his purpose, because of his desire to give back and be a part of the mission that Tony and I are on, gave up that and has come full-time with us. He's our lead coach. He is so amazing. And we asked him to come on for 10 or 15 minutes, not just to share his story, but share this evolution so you could see yourself in him, give a tidbit of what he would do if he was starting all over again. And I'd really love for you all to give it up for Raf.
Okay. How's everybody doing? We doing all right? We just so here. Well, everybody, welcome. As Dean said, I'm one of the head trainers here at Mastermind, and my journey started much like most of you. Most of you are here learning about Project Next. It's a phenomenal course. I was sitting on a Zoom screen looking at one of Dean and Tony's first business courses that they ever created, KBB. That's where I began my journey. So very, very much like everyone here. And I'm super excited that I'm here on a Monday. Anyone want to know why I'm really excited that it's a Monday today? I see Britt shaking her head a little bit. She knows. I see a few thumbs up. Why I'm so excited that it's a Monday is because Monday used to be the worst day of the week for me. Now, I can tell you, and I tell this story all the time, but when I was a little kid, like, we watched Saturday morning cartoons, so you could tell I'm an 80s baby, right? Anyone here Saturday morning cartoons? Nice bowl of cereal? Yeah, Jasmine's going nuts over there. She's like, yeah. And then, Saturday would come, loved it, and then somewhere midday Sunday, my emotions just started going downhill. That's because I had to go to school. Like, oh, come on, man. And then, I grew up and I entered the real world and I had this corporate career. So my corporate career, I was lucky enough to climb the corporate ladder really, really quickly. And I felt like every time I got promoted, it's like I just gave away a slice of my life. Sure, they gave me more money, but now I'm working on weekends. I'm on vacation and I have a CEO emailing me. I have to respond. It's like I couldn't get away from it. And Sunday, somewhere around 5 o'clock, the anxiety started to hit me. And I'm like, man, I got to go back into this office again. And mind you, I had a good career. I was making a really nice paycheck. Had a nice car, nice house, like all that good stuff. Right, but I remember when I got transferred from one division of my company to the next. And it was like a big promotion, and they're like, oh, Raph, hey, you're going to look over talent acquisition strategy for 5 of our agencies. I'm like, oh, wow. This is exciting. It sounds like a really big job, and I'm going to be able to make a difference. I'm going to be able to go in there and change the trajectory of this company. And that's really all I've ever wanted to do, right? Right? Anyone just want to make a change in the world? Right? Am I the only one? Right? I just wanted to know the work that I was doing was contributing to something more. And so I got transferred, and I remember, man, I was walking into work that day, and I was going to meet with one of my new internal clients, who's the CEO of one of the agencies. So I got my nice suit on, I'm walking down 42nd Street, and I'm in New York City, so I had my nice suit on and a little bit of a New York swagger, right? Gotta fit the pulse and the energy of New York. And then I walked into this meeting, and all of that energy just got drained out of me. Because I remember this CEO telling me, we need to make a big change. We need to make a big change, and we need better recruiting. We need this, we need that. And I said, okay. I proposed a few ideas, and she said, oh, well, those are great ideas, but we just don't do things like that over here. And I remember saying to myself, so you want me to change something for you. You want me to fix something, but you're unwilling to change it. And I remember I went back and I told my boss, I said, hey, how am I ever going to do my job if they're unwilling to do things differently? Like, I just didn't understand that. And he said, yeah, well, that's just the way they do it over there. We just have to live with it. So it became this losing proposition, walking into work every single day, knowing that I was never truly going to be able to do my job. I was never going to be able to win. You know what it's like when you walk into work every single day, and no matter how hard you work, you know you're not going to win? This is when I can say that I was surviving, making good money, had a nice New York City career, right? Always wanted to be the New York City businessman, and I finally made it. But I was so far from thriving. So far from thriving. Surviving meant I can pay my bills. But thriving is happiness. Thriving is living life on my terms. So at this time, I was trying to get my coaching business started, like many of you here. And it wasn't easy, right? But I'm going to share with you all the pivot that I made. And this is the pivot that I made that turned me from an average employee to a successful entrepreneur. And it's 3 steps that I took. Right? So I want everyone to really listen up because this is super important. Right? Everyone here, I can assume if you're here, you don't have a small dream. Am I right? If you're here, you want to do something really big. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Or just... And let me tell you something. You probably have more value stuffed inside your mind, heart, and soul than you will ever give yourself credit for. I found that inside myself on my journey. But here's how I find it. Right? They say being an entrepreneur, right? It's two things. It's a mindset and a skill set. So at that time, I was trying to side hustle. I was trying to build a coaching business while I was going to work. And I was going hard. I'm talking nights, weekends. I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning to try to post on Instagram, try to get my message out there, try to get some clients. Right? But I was missing some critical pieces of the puzzle. So let's start with the skill set. What is a skill set that every single entrepreneur needs? Without a shadow of a doubt. Now, you all came here with an expertise already with you, already in your back pocket. Some of you are health coaches. Some of you are life coaches. Every single person here has an expertise in something. Just by living life. Hey, guess what? If you live life long enough, you're going to pick up some really valuable skills. But just because you're the best life coach in the world, it doesn't mean you're going to have a successful business. And I understood that. As a matter of fact, I started coaching mindset. That was my first niche. And the reason that I chose mindset is because in my early 20s, I hit rock bottom. I struggled with mental health, right? I was getting in trouble. I was getting arrested. And I was oscillating between angry and depressed. And that was my life. And I wanted to teach people how I pulled myself up out of that and made myself a successful career. But guess what? Once again, being the best at what you do is not enough. If you really want to do this, the skill set that every single entrepreneur needs, you have to learn how to market and you have to learn how to sell. So I was posting on Instagram. I was trying to get all this traction. And I just really didn't understand marketing, let alone sales. I didn't even want to be salesy. I thought that me offering my course to someone or me offering my one-on-one coaching was like sleazy. I didn't want to be the sleazy car salesman. I just wanted to help people. Right? But then I learned about marketing. I learned how to actually utilize content to start attracting my ideal clients. And then I learned that sales, real sales, comes from the heart. Because if you have a solution to somebody's problem, it's a disservice not to offer it to them. Just like Dean. Dean is sitting here offering you his solution. That's service. Every single one of you has something amazing that you can give to someone else. Right? My advice, start giving it. It is the highest calling when you are a coach, a consultant, and you live your life every single day to solve a problem for somebody else. That's the highest calling. You live your life in service. But in order to get that message out there, marketing, sales is going to be your best friend. And I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, you got to jump in Project Next and learn marketing and sales. But guess what? If this is really your dream, that's what I'd be doing in a heartbeat. So let's go on to the mindset now, right? I made 3 shifts. One was the skill set. I obsessed over marketing and sales, and it started with KBB 1.0. I don't even know how many years ago that was. I needed to learn how to make it real. Second thing, I was still in the mindset. Even though I'm a big believer, I'm really inspirational, right? I like to think that, hey, you can reach for the stars. You can make anything happen. But I still had a limiting belief. There was still a part of me that was walking into work, and then I would come home and I would start working on my business, and I would say, is this actually real? Right? Can I actually do this? Anyone think like that to themselves? I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if this is actually real. Can I really make this happen? Right? That's what I used to think. I used to think there's no way in the world that I'm going to be able to actually make a tangible business because I tried at it for so long and it just wasn't working. And man, after you try so hard and it doesn't click, it doesn't come together, you just say to yourself, man, you have to be really lucky for this to happen. Or you have to have amazing connections. Or you just have to have a lot of money to get started. I was telling myself every excuse in the book. Right, but what I realized is that if you want to go anywhere in life, right, I'm a big believer in manifestation. Anyone else? Anyone else here believe, right, you can bring your dream to life? I'm a true believer in that, right? Heck yeah, you can. And what you don't understand, what I never understood, is that the only thing I needed to do, people always say to themselves, well, I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to do this. What you really need to do is think about what your dream life looks like to you and what type of person do you need to become to make that dream come true? So I listed all the attributes of the person that lived my dream, right? I wanted to be this successful entrepreneur. So what were the attributes of that successful entrepreneur? Because if you want to bring your dream to life, you simply have to become the person. And the successful entrepreneur for me, they weren't afraid to market. They weren't afraid to sell. They just took bold action. They were willing to mess things up. They were willing to fall flat on their face, pick themselves up, and keep moving forward. And up until that time, I was scared. You have to take action. You can't stand still and expect to gain confidence staring at the playing field. And I call business the playing field, just so everyone knows, right? That's the field for me. You need to believe without a shadow of a doubt that you can make it there. So this is the second shift that I made as I started believing simply by becoming the person, meaning I took super uncomfortable action. I invested in myself. I worked with coaches. I took courses. I started marketing. I started putting my message out there. I started becoming the person, and through that action, I developed the confidence I needed to become the entrepreneur that I am today. So first thing, skill set, marketing and sales. If you want to make this real, you absolutely need it. Second thing, right? Action. You have to take action. And the third thing, the third shift that I made, and this might seem like to you, you're like, what do you mean by that, Raph? The third thing was my environment. My environment. I always say you need two types of people in your life. Somebody that supports you and somebody that understands you. And they're not always the same person. I had this big dream of being an entrepreneur and being a coach. And I would tell my mom, my friends, I would tell them about my dream. And they would say, what are you, crazy? Just, you make a lot of money, you work in advertising. Just, hey man, that's cool, you want to be a coach, but just, I support you, but I don't understand what you're talking about, man. Just go back to your job. You need to surround yourself with people who are heading in the same direction as you. So when I started working with my coaches, right, we had group coaching, and I would get together with other entrepreneurs, and I would tell them my dreams. I would say, I have this big dream of building this business and leaving my job. And they said, that's right, Raph, you're going to make it. Go for it. You have to surround yourself with people who understand you, who support you, and that can see the vision. And guess what? At Mastermind here, right, and I'm not saying this just because I work here as one of the head trainers. I'm telling you this from the heart. We have one of the best communities of like-minded individuals. Everybody that comes here to Mastermind is looking to take their life to the next level. So the rest was history. It was not easy. But I was able to walk away from a very high-paid corporate job. Within less than a year, my wife was able to walk away from her job. We sold our house. We moved across the country to Arizona. We didn't even have any friends or family here. We did it just because we could, just because we had no strings attached. And that is my definition of success. I live life on my terms. I spend my days in service of other people, and I do it alongside the people that mean the most to me. You need to ask yourself if this is something that you truly want. Now, I want everyone to write this down, because I can tell you this, I'm not really that good. Am I a great salesman? Am I a great marketer? No, I just learned from some really incredible people, and I took action. And if I didn't take action, Monday would still be the worst day of the week for me. But I woke up today and I was lit up because I knew I was coming to, this is what I do. This is my life. This is my job. From not making a sale in 2 years to getting on stage with Tony and Dean and being able to serve some incredible people. But I need every single person right now to ask themselves, what is the one action that you are going to take? Not tomorrow, not in 3 weeks, not when you have the time. Because you only got one life, you got one opportunity to leave a legacy. I know if I die tomorrow, somebody out there is going to say, hey man, that guy inspired me, right? He taught me how to build my business and now I'm living my dream. That's my legacy. And I couldn't wait for that to happen. Time is your most precious commodity, so do not waste it. So I just want you to think really hard. What is the one thing you are going to do today to push yourself closer to your dream? I want to see you at the top. I want to be sitting on a screen watching you tell your story. I want you to be the next success story. So go out there, realize what you have inside of you, because we all have something great. We just don't always recognize it. Change your mindset, change your skill set, learn marketing and sales, obsess on it, get really good at it, and go serve the world. And you will absolutely bring that dream to life. What is the one thing you are going to do? And I'm going to leave you with that. So thank you all so much for allowing me to share. I hope this inspired you. I hope this gave you an idea of what could be possible for you. And without further ado, I want to invite back to the stage the one, the only, Dean Graziosi.
Great job, brother. Give it up for Raph, everybody. Hey, guys. All right. So, isn't it so cool? I thought it was really, I love that he came out here and did that. And who in here would love to be on the stage with Tony and I someday? Or sharing your story, right? I don't say that. You know what's so amazing is the next presenter who's coming, she was doing exactly what you're doing, and the success she's had since 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago being on the screen is unbelievable. And she's not even going to touch your heart. She's going to deliver you capabilities and show you what's possible. I'm so glad to have her. And then right after that, we're going to have Mr. Tony Robbins. He's standing by. Who's going all in? Don't leave us today. If I'm coming here on a Monday after a busy week, right, it's going to be an amazing rest of the day. But I think different people speak to your heart in different ways, right? Raph is going to hit some of you. I saw the comments coming in. This next presenter, she's going to hit your heart in a certain way. Tony just reaches inside your soul and there's no way around it, right? Right? Everybody impacts you a certain way. But at the end of the day, how cool is it that I just realized when Raph said that 2 of the speakers today used to be on the screen. And now they're here. Now, Raph did an amazing job, but as a coach, you'll get to meet him inside Project Next as well. Because Raph, some of the things he has dialed in so obsessively that this year, I had him film it because he's so obsessed on it and accomplished it in such a huge way. I'd love that opportunity with so many of you. And what I'd also love is while this next presenter comes, if you have any other questions, I want to do a couple more hot seats today. I want to find questions that one question can help solve it for a lot of people. So Emily, put in your question. Emily in room 2. And everybody, if you got a question, I'd love to do some hot seats. Again, we probably got about another, I'd say 45 minutes total. Who's going to stick with me for the 45 minutes? To miss a moment is to miss the whole thing, right? And here's what I love. Those of you that are already in Project Next, this is that, the wake up. We got this. We're doing it. Unite. Stay inside the Facebook group. That Facebook group is on fire. If you haven't been in it yet, oh my God. For those of you on the fence, this is your call to action today. This is for the logical buyers. I hope those 10 things helped. I hope the logical pieces helped. I hope seeing Raph helped. Our job is to say, hey, I don't want this industry. Not for me. The 5 days didn't mean anything to me. That's cool. Glad you spent time. But if you're here today still on the 6th day and you've been thinking about it and you're contemplating, you know this is for you. You already know that you could go to bed tonight feeling amazing, saying, I'm all in. I'm burning the boats. I'm doing this. Just like Becky and so many other people inside the group saying, thank God I did this. And we want that for you. And that's why we're here today. It's why Tony's coming back. It's why I'm here. All right. You guys ready for our next presenter? Now, you got to give her kudos. Her and my wife are due about the same time, but she still jumped on a plane to fly down here to be with you, to share with you. She was going to do this virtually, but she was watching the event from home, many states away, and she's like, this is unbelievable. I need to come down and share. And I can give you a little bit about Maya. Who's going to be she's a transformational speaker and international best-selling author. Isn't that a cool intro? 4 years ago, she was in room 2. Like, think about that, right? Or 3 years ago, whenever it was like, there's Maya in room 2. Now I start off with, she's a transformational speaker and best-selling author. After leaving corporate, she immersed herself in study of personal transformation. She's touched millions, has empowered millions of people. I could go on to all this thing, everything on this list that's a mile long, or I could really say, she's just an awesome lady that was right where you were, nervous, going through, I'm not going to steal her story, going through a lot of stuff in her personal life. And she had a calling. She was on an event just like this, and she had a calling. And she said, I don't care. She wasn't supported by people in her life. Her husband thought she was insane, but she knew she was called to do this. And the success she has had is unbelievable. And she's not only here to share her story, but share what she wished she would have learned when she got started. And I would love for you to give an amazing welcome to Maya.
Everybody. Oh my goodness. Hello Carrie, hello Eden, hello Susan. It is so great to see you guys. Hello Stacy. Amazing. Erica, Michael, I was watching backstage. It's so incredible. I saw you guys play full out. Sarah, Naomi, and Deanna, and so many of you guys. We need a little more energy. We need a little more energy. Come on. Who's psyched? Who's so excited? Yes, yes, yes. Amazing. I am so stoked to be here. Who's ready to thrive instead of survive? Who's a put in the chat? Hello, Kristen. Yes, hello, Lori, Cindy. Yes, yes, yes. I know so many of you because you guys could go into the Facebook group in Time to Thrive, and you'll see my videos from before I was ever standing on this stage with you, which is an incredible honor. So thank you, Dean, and thank you, Tony. And this is... Oh, hello, Linda Ray. Hello, Thelma. Amazing. Deborah, it's so great to see all your smiling faces. And so it's such an honor to be here because, as Dean mentioned, it was not that long ago. It was probably about 3 years ago, maybe even, it was about 3 years ago that I was in room 2 or room 6 or many of the different rooms because I joined many of these events, right? Who's been in many of these different rooms? And life looked a lot different. And I'll share with you, and I know, Jenna mentioned and Glow and a variety of the other people, how much can change in a year, how much can change in 6 months, how much can change in 2 years or 3 years. And I believe for many of you guys and for myself, where I was 3 years ago was very different than where I am now. And I likely may have been in a worse position than you are right now. because I didn't have all the tools and I didn't have this didn't exist yet, right? This was just starting. And so I'd love to share with you, Dean just went through, previously, he talked about the 10 things that are necessary, like the 10 most important things. And I think what is most impactful for you right now is to understand how it's not only possible, but inevitable when you make certain choices and when you do certain things and you've already taken the first step. Because the first step is following that little whisper, that little thing inside you that says, heck yes, I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to thrive. Like you all said yes to time to thrive. Yes? Say heck freaking yes. If that's, you said yes, you listened to the whisper and you said heck freaking yes, there's something, I am meant to thrive now. I'm not meant to just survive. Yes? Yes? Heck freaking yes. Yes. If there is something that lights you up, say heck freaking yes in the chat, because you are tapping into that life force that's living and breathing you. That little whisper that becomes louder than all the noise once you start listening to it. But I believe we've all had a lot of noise. Yes? I see you, Carol. I see you, Kiana. I see you, Sarah. Right? I see you, Anna. That there's a lot of noise out there, and it might be in our own heads, or it might be all the people outside who doubt and say you're crazy, because who's ever heard that? Who's ever heard that? Yeah, I heard that. And you'll find out why, because maybe some of the steps I took sounded a little crazy to most people, to common people that are not following their dreams, that have decided, you know what, surviving is just okay for me. But that wasn't okay for me. Are you guys okay if I share with you why surviving wasn't okay for me? Yeah? Can I get a heck freaking yes? Yes! Thumbs up, amazing. Thank you guys for the hearts and the thumbs up, amazing. Oh, I love it, I love, you'll find out I love love. So thank you for the hearts. So, it was about, it was about 8 years ago, I was a corporate executive. And as a corporate executive, I was global head of innovation. I was reaching hundreds of thousands of people. And I was married, and I had a son, and I had everything that everyone could have possibly wanted, or that I could have possibly wanted. And yet there was something inside of me that wanted more. And even though from the outside looking in, it looked like I had everything. Oh, I'm going to pause for 1 second, because Dean talked about those 10 steps, right? Those 10 things, and put them in the chat. Like, what are those things? Being resourcefulness over resources, right? Faith over fear, cost of inaction, investments instead of expenses, saying no to say yes, commitment over convenience, scheduling, deciding what inner voice you're listening to. The first step is the scariest, and that your certainty must be stronger than everybody else's doubt. And if you're not certain, then you borrow somebody else's certainty. Yes? Those are the 10 things. Yes? Yes, Adam, amazing. Amazing, Adam got it all. It's like right there. I don't know if you type really fast or you cut and paste really fast, but thank you, because now everybody, what I want you to pay attention to is as I share this story, where do you see those 10 steps come up? Because this is how your dream not only becomes possible, but it becomes inevitable. And you'll see how from somebody who was just surviving, that I became somebody who was thriving. So I want you to pay attention. Are you guys ready? Pay attention to where these things show up in the chat, in the story, and then you can put them in the chat if you see it, right? So it's a challenge. It's a challenge for all of us, right? Okay. And so here I was, I had everything that you could possibly want. I had the house, I had the husband, I had the child, I had the corporate executive career, I had everything that everybody would say, this is the dream life, Maya. And yet what nobody knew was inside I was struggling. Inside I was numb. Inside I wanted more. And I knew I was meant for more. Yes? Has anyone ever had that? You have the job, you have the husband, you have the spouse, you have the child, you have all the things, and it looks great from the outside. And yet you're realizing that life is just passing you by. And that's what it felt like. I was numb. I would wake up in the morning before my son got up, my 3-year-old son, before he woke up, I was out the door and he was asleep by the time I got home. And it killed me. My heart broke every day leaving like that. I wanted more. I wanted to play. I wanted to laugh. And yet I think I forgot how. My relationship was struggling. We were ships in the night. And so, it was one Sunday afternoon, and I'm sitting at my desk, and I hear my son, and he's downstairs playing, and he's giggling with the nanny, and I want to go downstairs and play. But I don't know how. Because I have been working 60-hour weeks in a job that I'm not fulfilled by, even though I'm doing what I believe that I should be doing and impacting lives, but I am not fulfilled, and I am struggling, and I am numb, and I don't know how to go downstairs and play anymore. And if I do, I don't even know if he would want to play with me because I've been working so much. And so then I get this ding on my email, and I know it's work, and I'm paralyzed, and I'm standing right there. And I say, I just need to go clear my head. I just need to leave. So I run downstairs, I grab my keys, I jump in my husband's truck, and I drive for 20 minutes, and I'm standing there in front of a red light. And as I go to turn the wheel to jump on the on-ramp, a huge black SUV crashes into the side of the truck. And as this woman's car flies through the air and through the green sign and down the embankment, and my car's spinning, I see my entire life pass before my eyes. I see the life that I have lived. I see the way my husband looked into my eyes years ago on our wedding day, and he hasn't looked at me like that in so long, and that's all I want. I see my son when he's born, and me promising that I'm going to love you as much as I possibly can. And then I see the person that I'm supposed to be that I haven't become yet. And then I hear a voice, and I feel a voice in every cell of my body, and it says, Maya, you haven't done what you came here to do. And I knew there was someone I was supposed to be, and I haven't become her yet, and I don't even know who that is. But for the first time in my life, I pray. And I pray to God, and I say, if I make this out of here alive, then I will be her. I will be the woman that I am here to be. I don't know who that is yet, but I will figure it out. The police got there. They have no idea how we made it out of there alive. Both cars are totaled. Neither one of us has a scratch on us. And I decide, I'm going to be this woman. I don't know who that is, but I'm going to figure it out. 6 months later, I leave my career. And I start following this whisper. If it says take this course, I take the course. If it says coach with this person, I coach with that person. If it says go to work with these different people, I go and I do it. It says travel, I go travel. If it says dance in the rain, I might think twice about it, but ultimately I would dance in the rain because it's saying do it. Who has had that voice that say dance in the rain? You're like, no, I'll get my hair wet. Go do it. Go do it. Listen to the voice that's saying come alive. It's time to thrive, right? And so I start listening to the voice. And as I listen to that voice, I start to come alive, and I'm working with these incredible people all around the world, and I'm learning the secret to not only being successful, but also being fulfilled. And then I start to share my journey with people. And here I am. I mean, just imagine, like when I was a corporate executive, you don't go on Facebook. So anybody who's had these years, like, you don't go on Facebook? Like, that's very public. So I start a little group, and this is before Facebook groups are even a thing. And what I'm coming alive knowing is like, it's all about love. It's just about love, and I want to share this love and this aliveness with the world. Who's felt like that? I know probably 100% of you do because you're here. You're like, there is something, it's inside of me, I want to share it. And I don't exactly know how. And at the time, I was a corporate executive. I had just left. And here I am. I'm no expert. I am a student. And I am sharing my journey, and I am just sharing this aliveness. And as I go through these experiences, I'm sharing along the way. And so I do, and then people start joining this little group I had called Love Club, which people, I mean, you guys can laugh at me. You can certainly laugh at me, but I'm like, I just want a club of all these people who believe in love and bring this alive. I wasn't there to be their teacher or their expert. I was there to just share my journey and show them how by following this little voice and by doing these things that you can come alive. Yes? Yes? And so I kept doing that. And then as I'm doing this, that group grew. It grew and grew and grew. And people were just one person told another person, told another person, told another person. And I'm just sharing. And then I get these messages and people's lives are changing. I'm not charging anything. And I don't even know how. I don't even know how. to charge or make a sale or make an investment. And I even felt like it was bad and it was wrong and people would not like me. Who's ever felt like that? Right? And so as I keep doing this, bank account is dwindling. I start losing, well, I'm not losing it, but it's going away. All the money is going away because I keep following this voice and I'm not charging anybody. And then one of the people that I was traveling around with, a brilliant businessman, noticed what I was doing. And he says, Maya, you can like invest in my company and we'll make this big. Like you'll impact the world. And at that point I had sold my house, I had sold our lake house, I had sold my car, I was selling my suits that I used to wear as a corporate executive on Facebook Marketplace. And everyone's looking at me, they're like, what the heck are you doing? I said, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. And they're all looking at me saying, I don't know where there is, but this certainly does not look like it. Who's ever had that, right? Like I'm there with my suits on Facebook Marketplace. They're like, that looks nowhere like there. I'm like, I'm so close. It looks so far away. Who's ever been there? You know in your heart it's so close, but to everybody else it looks so far away, right? So I've sold all these things. My bank account is in the red. I've asked my husband for a divorce because our relationship wasn't thriving and I wanted more. I wanted more for me. I wanted more for him. I wanted more for our son. And so I made these choices. And then this brilliant friend and businessman says, invest in my company. I have no money. But finally, yes, we're gonna impact the world. And so I do what I can and I get loans from family, friends, all these things, and I invest in this company. And very quickly, I realize that it wasn't what I was supposed to do. That just because this person made me promises that we're gonna impact the world and we're going to do all this stuff, that it wasn't quite true. And I started waking up again with knots in my stomach. And I'm short with my son because I'm so stressed out and I'm looking at the P&Ls and they don't make sense. And our customers are having complaints instead of accolades and we're not impacting lives the way that I wanted to. And so I go to them and I say, listen, give me my investment back and you can keep the following, you can keep the company, you can keep all the profit, you can keep everything, just please give me the investment back because I need to pay these people back and I want to build something for my son and for our family. And they said, if you leave, we will fold the company. You will lose everything. And that was during COVID. It was during a divorce. And I'm like, what do I do? But I know inside of me, everybody says, Maya, stay, you'll lose everything. You're going to lose your health insurance. You're going to lose the money. You're going to lose all the money that people loaned you. You're going to lose everything. And I said, no way, no how am I compromising anymore. No more. I am going to invest myself 100. I've got to be this person, and maybe I can't be this person now, but I build a vision of this woman that I would be that doesn't compromise her integrity, that doesn't compromise her values, that doesn't compromise her joy or her family's joy. And I said, in 12 months, I will be the kind of woman that can walk away, that nobody can threaten me. Nobody can keep me in a role or a position or a company where it doesn't align with my vision or my values, where it doesn't keep me alive, where my gut is in knots every single day. Have you ever felt like that? And I made a choice and I made a plan and I said, 12 months from now, I'm out. And they can keep it. They can keep the company, they can keep the profit, they can keep my health, they can keep the health insurance, they can keep it all, but they cannot have me. They cannot have me. That I will be that woman. And maybe I'm not her right now yet because I am scared, but I will be her. And I formed that vision and I started to make choices in alignment with that vision of who I was, and I started to build a plan. And at that point, of course this happens. I get a phone call and it's Dean's team and I had purchased KBB, right? And I'm like on those calls and I'm on the things. And I get this phone call and it's like, hey, it's Johnny from Dean Graziosi's team. Would you like to go deeper with it? Would you love to go deeper with us? And yes, I would. And yes, it's a sign. And yes, yes, yes. But I have no money. And I potentially am going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. But I brought back that image of that woman. What would she choose? 12 months from now, when I walk away And I say, keep it all. I actually, in my vision, I said, keep the change. And I walked away. I did. I'm like, you can have it all. Keep the change. Because that's just pennies to me now. Like, I created this vision. I encourage you, I invite you to create a vision of yourself that's like, keep the change, people. Yeah, keep it. Because I'm living my dream and I'm thriving instead of surviving. And I am born for this. I am made for more, right? So heck freaking yes, yes, yes. And so I'm like, I'm yes. And then, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. I have no idea. Bank's in the red, divorce is happening, it's COVID. What am I going to do? So I get resourceful. Like, I can't ask people for loans anymore. Like, they already did that, and they still think I'm crazy. But they're supporting me. And so I start navigating everything, and I start getting resourceful. And I make a decision from the dream. I make a decision from the woman that I am 12 months from now. Not the woman right now, the woman 12 months from now. I make a decision when this all works out and I walk away. What is the decision that I've made? And it was that I go all in. And for the first time in my life, I chose me all the way. There was no plan B. And I said, okay, I'm in. And then during that weekend, I'm working and every time they tell me, send an email, make your title, call somebody, invite someone into your program. I did exactly what they said at one point in room 2. I think it was room 2, Dean, right? And so I'm in room 2 and I am crying. And they're like, are you okay? I was like, no, this is good. I swear this is good. Like, something's happening in me. And I'm taking the steps, I'm taking uncomfortable action, and I make the phone calls. And I decide, who can I serve? Who can I serve and share this with the world, right? And share this with just a few people. And so I said, I'm going to invite 8 people, and I'm inviting 8 people into this mastermind. Before that weekend was over, and I had made a commitment before it started. I said, I am doing this. By the end of the weekend, I'm taking every action, and it's done. Destiny is done for me, and I did. And I invited 8 people into a mastermind, $5,000. 8 said yes. $40,000 by the end of the weekend. $40,000. That wasn't, and then I invited 8 more, and that was another 40,000. And then that wasn't enough to pay off the loans. It wasn't enough to pay everything off, but at least I had momentum. At least I had momentum. It didn't take me 12 months to walk away. It took me 4. I walked away. I went to my business partners and I said, you can keep it. You can keep it. Because I'm going all in, no plan B. And so I walked away from that company. And then I made a plan. And I said, 6 months from now, I'm going to launch something. I'm going to bring this into the world. Yes? And so that's what I did. And all these students, they were having impact time and time again. They were sharing their stories of how they're having love in their life again. Their bodies are healing. They're doubled their income, all of these things. And I say, okay, 6 months, I'm going to launch. So within 6 months I did. And then I started planning and preparing, and my son is on all the calls with me. It's COVID, and there's homeschool. He's not going to school. He's on every call. Dean's there, the team's there, and he's there with me in my lap, training and being there with me. And then we start going for runs, and I say, Hunter, run with me and celebrate all the people and the impact that's going to happen. And he says, Mom, what if nobody shows up? What if it doesn't work? And I said, your mom is not going to quit. Then we do it again. And we're going to keep on doing it, because what was more important was that I didn't give up on my dream and that he wouldn't give up on his. I was more afraid of not being the woman that I was here to be, and I was more afraid of him not following his dreams because I didn't follow mine. Yes? I see you, Charlene. Yes. And so we did that every day for 6 months. And then I followed. I said, I'm going to do a challenge. I'm going to do a live event, because Dean and Tony, they were teaching that, and the team were teaching that. And I have the best of the best behind me, and they're supporting me, and I'm borrowing their certainty, and I'm borrowing their conviction. And so 6 months later, I do my challenge. I do my live event. And in that process, I generated $500,000. And I fall to my knees and I cry. And I'm not crying because of the money. I'm crying because of the impact, because I know 6 months from then, the impact that every single person is going to feel. I know it. I know what's going to transform in their lives. And now I know that they're free and I'm free. That we are all free. That I am now living this life, that I'm thriving. I'm not just surviving. That my family is taken care of. And that was 2 years ago. And now, my husband and I never got divorced. We're more in love than we've ever been. I'm 7.5 months pregnant with our second child. We go to the beach every day with my son and our dog, and I'm there when my son wakes up and I'm there when he goes to bed. I have a multi-million-dollar company impacting people's lives, helping them to live the lives that they live. And now when I get a bing on my phone, the bing on my phone isn't more work that I don't love. It's a woman that says, I just went to dance in the rain. I just doubled my income, Maya. I just went from accepting Venmo to survive, to put food on the table, to hundreds of thousands of dollars over months or years or what have you. Those are the bings that I get on my phone. And now I'm thriving and not just surviving. And now I'm here to support you too. And it's because, did you see all the 10 things? It's because I'm made for more and so are you. You are quite literally here for more. There is nobody else on the planet like you. That was the message that I received when I was in the car. It was like, Maya, there is someone you're here to be. Be her. And that message wasn't just for me, it was for every single person that I would serve, that you are here for a reason that nobody else can fulfill but you, yes? Yes? Yes or yes? Put yes, 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 yes. And these aren't platitudes, this is a promise. You follow that life force that's living you. You follow the part of you that says, heck yes, I'm made for more. Heck yes, I'm meant to thrive. You are born to thrive. But you've got to make the choice. You've got to make the decisions. You've got to choose you before everybody. You want to be chosen, yes? You want people to choose you. No one else will choose you unless you choose you. No one else will choose you unless you choose you. You've got to be the one that says, I'm worth it. I'm taking that step. I'm investing in the best. I'm going to have a team of experts that have been through that. If there are just a couple things that I have learned in this journey, one, it's you've got to choose you before anybody else does. It's to what Dean says, your certainty has to be greater than anybody else's doubt. It's if you want to be, who here knows you are world class? Like that is in you. There is something that you're here to do. Yes? Yes? Then you must surround yourself with world class. You cannot surround yourself with mediocrity. You want a passionate marriage? Hang out with people with passionate marriages. If you want to share your mission and your message with the world, then surround yourself with people who are doing that successfully and who have done that for years. Don't surround yourself with mediocre, because you will then be mediocre. The greatest gift that ever happened probably was COVID, because all of a sudden, Dean is on my screen and Tony is on my screen, and all of a sudden we're up close and personal. Would that have ever happened before COVID? Would I have met Dean in person? Would he have been there in my corner, right? But I made a decision. And it's about taking, if you want to live an uncommon, thriving life, you've got to do something that's uncommon. You've got to do something that's uncomfortable. Yes? Yes? Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Yes, yes. So who is made for more? Who is made for more? Go ahead and put it in the chat. Yes, amazing. Amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I know you've learned a lot. And I saw all the other speakers shared incredible bonuses and incredible things. I have the honor and the privilege that Dean has invited me to be part of Project Next Thrive Edition. So I am in there coaching and training with you. Sharing, yes, I see you, Anna. I see you, Stacy. I see you guys. Yes, Sonia. I'm there sharing with you. I'm going to share with you a model, right? I used a challenge model and it was amazing. I'm going to share with you a model that's simple. You guys see a really extravagant challenge right now. You can do it in a simple way. And you can show people transformation before you ask for a transaction, before you ask for an investment. You can transform their lives. This is what I did. It's what made it feel so amazing for me, that I could invite them to continue on a journey with me because they already knew what it would feel like and what it would be like, and their lives are already transformed. Who would love that? Who would love to know how to create an experience? Yes, amazing. And I'm going to share that with you in Project Next. When my students invested in my program, they said thank you to me. Thank you for calling me. Thank you for caring enough that you would invite me. I was scared, right? Anybody been scared to invite people? Imagine if they said thank you. Can you imagine that if they said thank you for inviting me? Thank you for caring. I'm going to share with you a process of how they can say thank you to you, because as you follow through, it's a process called caring, right? And so you're going to learn that in Project Next Thrive Edition. And then I'm going to add a bonus. Who wants a bonus? Who loves bonuses? Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to share with you a bonus. One of the things that I teach the challenge, and I teach a variety of other things, but I teach people how to show up with presence and power and conviction, without apology, without compromise. And I'm going to share with you that X factor. You are going to have it because every single one of you has it. And I'm going to share that with you in a bonus. You're going to get not only the challenge, how I do it in a simple way, where you're going to use everything you learned here and you're going to put it into action. And it's so simple. Who would love it to be so simple? Yes? And then you're also going to know how to cultivate that X factor that lives within you, because you have it. It's not just for everybody else. You have it. And you will know that, and you will learn that, and you will embody that. And so thank you guys for having me. This has been an absolute honor. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, team. I've loved being with you guys, and I will see you on the inside.
Wow, Maya.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Has she come a long way, everybody? Give it up for Maya. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So good. Give it up for Maya, guys. She'll be able to see the chat in the other room. Just think, wow. How cool is it she was right where you are not that long ago? Wow. Wow. I took so many notes and wrote down a bunch of stuff, but I love the fact that she was right where you were not that long ago. And who saw yourself in her and in parts of her journey, right? Now, I want to say something, and I'll say this all the time. Maya shared her success. We have so many people. We have 6,000 pages of people that have sent in changes and transformation in their life. I'm not saying you'll do what Maya did to make your first dollar or sell out 8 people or do $500,000. Tony and I barely say that because we know the outcomes we get for people, but we don't know about you. We don't know if you're going to follow through, if you're going to take action with Project Next. You're actually going to do the work. You're going to go through the modules. But isn't it great to see what's possible? Who loves seeing what's possible, right? And I love it. And I love that she's here. Think about that. She was once there, and now I get the chance, and she's working with us as a team. We're talking to her right now about going more involved in our company, just like Raph does. Here's the cool part. Who wants to learn from Maya inside Project Next? She crushes it, and she just added a killer bonus. It's one of the things she sells in her own world, but Tony and I are blessed to have such great friends that add these incredible bonuses. So what do I do? Who's up for Tony Robbins here in a few minutes? Who's up for Tony Robbins? Are you going to bring the energy for this man on a Monday? But in this moment, what I'd love to do is just take a minute and remind you. I don't know, Mike, can you pull up the site? When you go to joinprojectnext.com, there is the page that'll take your order. Can we pull that up? That'd be great. And can they see it on the screen? Is that what they're seeing? Okay. I want you to see that. That's where you land when you go to joinprojectnext.com. That's the counter. 3 days, 11 hours, 9 minutes, and 54 seconds. That's legit. When that timer hits 0, you could take it down, Mike. When that timer hits 0, that offer is gone. Maya's bonus. Oh, I'll share with you in a minute. Lisa Nichols' bonus, Russell's bonus, Brendan's bonus, Glow's bonus. All of those go away. Can you still buy Project Next? Of course. But this is our job to say, hey, logical buyers, did we dot the I's, cross the T's? Did we answer your questions? Did we overcome those obstacles? Do you see yourself in any of these people? If we did, then I want to give you a few minutes here and say, let's go all in. Let's go to bed tonight knowing we're all in. And I want to go through this really quick. Not all of them. And I see so many of you that are a part of it. Who's glad that you're already in? Raise your hand. And if you're already in, know that we will add all these bonuses. You don't miss out on them, Rose. I promise you, all these bonuses that we're getting, they'll be added to your back office. So pull the slide up. Of course, it's the Project Next experience, right? And in that course, all 6 modules. This is, again, separate from Mastermind. This is your course. This is your immersion. This is taking you step by step. If you've gone through Module 1 alone, tell everybody in the chat what Module 1 is meant to you. Each one builds upon the rest. From identifying your ideal client to marketing through service, through sales, to sharpening your skills on how to teach it, to your launch blueprint. This is the most comprehensive, straightforward course I think that exists on the planet. We love this course. If we charged $5,000, it would be a steal. Then you get 6 weeks live group coaching with me. That starts this Friday. Write that down. This Friday, 11 o'clock, we're going to be right here coaching to get you started, and then we'll do it every week until the World Summit. Okay? You get 3 months free on mastermind.com. That's your implementation tool. That's where you saw all the sites. That's everybody that makes it real, where Tanner built it. That's separate, right? Project Next, you get all of this. Then you got the tool to make it real. And then at the end of the 3 months, like we said, it's just $47 a month, and we never take a dime. Make $1 million in sales, we get 0, it's yours. You get all the tools, and wait till you see what you get just inside the course, inside Mastermind. We even upload a new course every month. It's absolutely amazing. You're going to freak out when you see what we built. So now you have the immersion, you have the repetition of the coaching, you have the implementation to make it real with Mastermind, and as you know, you get a $597 ticket to the Mastermind World Summit. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it's a $20 million studio. Tony and I are going to rock your world, 10-hour days. It is going to be mind-blowing, and we can't wait for you to be there. That's the ticket price on the site right now. If you don't go in Project Next and you want to buy a ticket, you'll have to pay $597 just for a ticket. And look at all you get during this challenge. You get access to the greatest group on the planet. I think some of you with red screens are already seeing what's happening in the Mastermind Facebook group. We crushed it this morning in there. You get access to that. You get the Experts Corner. And that is Glow and Alex Hermosi, who you met, and Rachel Miller, and Jenna Kutcher, and Brendan Burchard, and Russell Brunson. All this is for after you go through the course, it's like Christmas, right? It's like Christmas. You have all these amazing bonuses that'll take you from the beginner all the way to where Maya is and beyond. Yes, that's real value, $9,700. We talked about how we sold almost 40,000 clients into our first courses that didn't have a World Summit ticket, that didn't have the Experts Corner, that didn't have the coaching at $2,000. But because of this shifting time in the world, because of this craziness, because of Tony's heart and mine as well, we decided to make it $997 during the challenge. But you saw that in 3 days, in a couple hours, all of that goes away. And this is the time to thrive right now in this shifting world. So you go to joinprojectnext.com. You get these are some extra challenge bonuses. You get my library of 3 years worth of trainings. And I don't want to make it sound, Tony would say, like a Ginsu knife. But wait, you get more. But this is the cool Christmas presents that you can go to later. Don't laugh at me, Lynn, right? You get Brendan's marketing mastery. You get Russell's training from how he crushed it on stage. You get Rachel Miller's viral funnels. You get, this is the new one from Lisa Nichols, Abundant Life Program. She saw everybody else doing it. I love Lisa. I love learning from her. You got that. And Maya just shared her VIP X Factor experience. Guys, these are all yours to keep for life. These are yours. Once you get them, once you buy Project Next, they're yours for life. Unconditional money-back guarantee. And yes, $997. We didn't have a 3-pay option. So here's what we're going to do. Watch this quick reel. We'll take a 5-minute break, and then Mr. Tony Robbins will be here. Here's what I suggest. Go to joinprojectnext.com. Come back with your red screen, or at least the red screen in your mind. Know that you're all in, and let's continue on this journey together and not let this be the end. All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break, And when you're back, let me know you're in.
My first sale. Okay. Can I just tell you, it was amazing. It was so amazing. That's what that feeling was to me, because I can help the people I wanted to help.
When I first got the email that a sale came through, I went, what? Like, what happened? This is my information put out there and somebody wants to buy it. Boom. Like, I was so happy.
To be able to give and teach and make money at the same time and have some freedom, it's been a godsend. It took me less than an hour to set up my course. Within a couple days, I already had a couple sales and I hadn't even marketed yet.
When I launched my course, I think within the first 24 hours, I got a sale from someone I actually didn't know. That was pretty cool.
I started the digital product journey only 7 months ago. Like, before that, I didn't have anything. And I created the digital course Fast Lane and uploaded it to mastermind.com. And guess what? Since then, like 10 days ago, 114 people bought the course.
Since this year, I've been able to run 9 in-person workshops, all of about 6 to 15 people,
I love helping people discover what they were meant to do.
We are making a difference in the lives of the people we are touching.
All of a sudden I got this email to say, you've been successful, someone has bought your mastermind. I couldn't believe it. I genuinely couldn't believe it. And then after that, 3 other people bought the same night. So I had 4 sales for nothing in about an hour and a half, which was just amazing.
There's somebody else out there that can only hear the message that you present. So you need to do it, because somebody out there needs desperately what only you can provide.
Stop beating like you used to. Used to be so numb, but not next to you. You got me feeling some type of way. Was never alone, but always felt so lonely. Was surrounded by, but I was so lonely. But when I met you, my heart turned from stone to gold. And when I'm with you, this feeling I can't control. I never wanna lose this feeling. I'd do anything tonight, I'll lose you. Yeah, I'd do anything, yeah, I'd do anything. Baby, I'd do anything for you.
Hey guys, welcome back. Come back to your screens. Come on back. Natalia just said, how do you get over not liking the sound of your own voice? Years I felt that way. I couldn't even watch my own videos. You grow past it, but I remember. Hey everybody, what's up, Zachary? Good to see you, man. Rim and Michelle. What's up, Lois? How are you? Nicole. Hey, Dave Hines. What's going on? Hey guys. So you guys getting ready for a little Tony? First off, I want to share something before we go any further. And I'll say this over and over again, and the greatest gift I could give you, if you heard Raph and if you heard Maya, was overcoming that, like, oh, I have to get people to enroll. Here's what's changed in my mind, and it will change in yours forever, why Raph is successful and why Maya is successful, and so many of our clients all around the world, is because you know you're doing a disservice if you don't empower people who want it. If this is not for you, then you shouldn't be here. But if this is for you, of course we're going to push you to take that action, because it's the only way we could serve. So this isn't the end. So this is truly the beginning. So just wanted to share that with you guys. But right now we have another guest. I just want to know if you guys got the energy for this next guest. Can I see if you guys got a little energy, maybe a little music? Do you have the energy for this next guest? I don't know if that's enough. Come on, I know it's a Monday. I know you've been here a long time. Look at Deanne. Look at Rania. Look at Judy. Look at Matthew. Look at Marie. Look at, let's see, Nicole. I'm talking about. Hey, Amy Prang. Good to see you. Gene, come on, brother. Let's get some energy here. There you go. All right. You guys ready for a little Tony Robbins? Let's keep this music going. Let's keep the energy up here. Wait, there we go. That's better. It's like a dough. I don't want to bring them out on a dough. Hey, guys, without further ado, can we please give a warm welcome for my brother and dear friend, Mr. Tony Robbins.
Thanks, Dean. Listen, everybody, great to rejoin you again. Listen, Dean wanted to give you one, more shot. His whole mindset, and I really love this about him, is we don't want anybody left behind. So I wanted to drop by and just give you a little insight that might help you push yourself over the edge in anything you're trying to get yourself to do. We can make ourselves, whether we do something or not, is based not on our ability. It's really based on our level of reasons or drive. In other words, whether you can change, whether you can make things happen, there's no question. We got people in every walk of life who started with nothing, who didn't believe in themselves, who are now running successful businesses because they've gone through the course and they've done it a step at a time. But before you do the course, it's like, it can seem overwhelming. It's like so much, but you're going to go through this course, Project Next, and you can do it like, okay, I'm going to do one, session a day. I'll take one session. I'm going to focus on that session, do it once a day. And over a couple of weeks, I'm going to have the whole thing done. It'll be so easy. Or some of you are more immersion. Let me do this all in one weekend. I'm going to do it all day, all night for 3 days or 4 days or whatever the case may be. I want you to know the way you attack things often determines, in your mind, determines whether you do it or not. And it has to do with how we group things in our mind, how we chunk them. If there was a whale that washed up and you were starving and you needed to eat the whale and you try to eat in one bite an entire whale, it's overwhelming. If you chop it into 8 billion pieces, it's overwhelming. There's like a certain size that your mind can get your head around to be able to consume that whale or take on that business or turn your life around or whatever the case may be. And so I'll give an example. I'll say to somebody, hey, you told me you want to lose weight. Are you working out? Well, that's really hard. Well, why? Well, there's so much, just so much. I'm so busy. There's so much to do. I said, do me a favor just for a second. Walk me through what it takes for you to go work out. And the person will say, well, first of all, I got to drive to the gym, and then I got to check in and get my ticket. I got to find a parking space, and then I got to go in, and then I got to check it. Got to have your ID and stuff, and you got to go through that little section, and then you got to get your locker, and then open my locker, and I put my clothes on there, and I hope that they don't fall down, but they usually do, and will get wrinkled. And then I close and lock my locker, and then I go to the first, machine. I do the first thing, and then I do the second machine, and then the fourth, and the fifth, and then I go back, and then I take, I go do a sauna, and and then, I come in, and I have to shower after that, and I have to fix my hair and makeup again, and then I got to take and put my clothes on, and then I got to find my car and drive home. It's just so much. Well, want to eat? Sure. What do we got to do? We'll just eat. Eating is one step. Working out is 37,000 steps. So I want you to think about, when you think about doing your business, until you've gone through Project Next, you might feel a little overwhelmed. But if you say, okay, I'm going to do this once a week or once a day or on a weekend, and I'm going to do it a little step at a time, and you just take each step one step at a time, you just focus on that instead of everything at once. Pretty soon, having a business will be like working out, will be like eating. It'll be that simple. You don't say, oh, I got to find the restaurant, and I got to sit down and find the parking space, and I got to look through the menu, and then I got to pick for the person, and I got to wait in line to be seated, and then I got to wait for the food to come, and I got to decide which fork to use. You don't do that. And that's why eating's easy. It's the way you're grouping it in your mind. Does that make sense? So a lot of times, let me show you what I mean. A lot of times, if people are, I was talking to some of the people in VIP on Friday, and I was saying, the biggest mistake a lot of us ask ourselves is, what do we got to do? And so you see, we got to do, well, I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got to do this thing and that thing, and I do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to do this. It's overwhelming. But if you looked at all these things you need to do, you start to relate to them. Like, all these things relate. What if these 5 things all related to understanding who your ideal client was? And all these actions all relate towards designing your course. And all of these 3 are all related to how we're going to market it and put it online for you. And you go, oh, there's 3 things I need to do, not 37. You follow me on this? So I'll give you an example. If you're trying to achieve something, I have a friend named Pat Riley, and he's one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time. He owns a piece of the Miami Heat. And I met him way back when he was with the Lakers, and then when he was with New York, the Knicks, and then he came down to Miami, and he's got all of these, championship rings, more than almost anybody alive. Very few people have more. And I remember at one point when he was taking over coaching the Lakers, when I was just 24, 25 years old, and he was talking about how he really pushed these guys. And we had Magic Johnson, if you know anything about basketball, and Kareem, all these guys, and he had this hard time. He pushed them like crazy because he grew up pushed by his father. He pushed them harder than ever been pushed, so they'd be well prepared, so they could really crush it. And they went to the championship game and they lost. And when you give everything and you lose, there's a part of you that just feels so empty. And so the next year he's trying to get these players going again. And he's like, we got to get 20% better. If we're going to achieve this, get 20% better. Well, he'd worked them so hard the year before that when he started saying 20% better for the first time, you got players kind of pushing back or like, saying bullshit. They're only at 20% better. And he got really frustrated. And so we were having this conversation one day trying to figure the right strategy. And I said, what if you went to these guys and apologized? He said, apologized? I said, yeah. What if I said, look, guys, it was stupid of me. You've worked your guts out last year. You got right this close to the championship and we lost. It was devastating. It was painful. For me to come along and say, you got to work 20% harder all year long to get there. I mean, that's absurd. I said, let's just give our best and see how it works out, and we'll just go from there. And he looked at me and goes, they'll never respond to that. I said, that's my point. They're going to say, champion's going to go, what do you mean we're not going to set any goals? We're not going to have anything to do. 20% seems crazy, but, we're not going to do anything. And so let them push back on you. Well, we got to set some goals. We got to get clear how we're going to improve. And I said, then you make it simpler. If you come back to them and say, well, all right, if you really want to do something, why don't we just work on being like 1% better? Like 1% better in 5 areas of the game, like 1% better each of us on, let's say, free throws, and 1% better on defense, and 1% better on lowering our turnovers. And just work on 1% better. And what happened was, guys, anybody's an achiever's like 1% better. That's bullshit. I'm going to do 10% better, right? And that's what most of them in their head were doing. Well, instead of saying 20% is absurd, they're saying, I'm not going to do less than 10%. And by 1% better, each player getting 5% better, and there's 11 players on the team, but only 5 on the court. Well, that's 5 times 5%. That's 25% better. It's more than 20% better. But it's not overwhelming their minds. Do you follow me? You've got to learn to play the game in your mind. And when you go through Project Next, we're going to show you do that a step at a time so it's not so overwhelming. You're not trying to eat the whole thing. You're not trying to get 20% better, even in your business. Let me give you a little clue. And you don't have to understand this in detail right now because I'm going to teach this in the course to you. But let me just plant a seed with you. Like, most people are trying to think, how do I get a few clients? How am I going to grow my business? And if you had a business and you had 100 clients and you say, I want to grow that business 30%, that's another 30 clients that you got to get. That seems like a lot if you don't have a lot of clients. Or if you had 1,000 clients, you'd have to get 30% more, 1,333 more clients to grow the business 30%. But what you're going to learn is there are lots of ways to skin this cat. And it doesn't take Herculean efforts. It's just little improvements like those 1% that can do it. In fact, I interviewed a man named Jay Abraham years ago. Jay's a marketing genius. He and I have been friends. I think I interviewed him almost 35 years ago. We're still friends today. He is a marketing genius because for 50 years, he's worked in all these different industries and shown companies how to create breakthroughs. And he studies what different industries do, and he learns this industry does this. Well, realtors don't do that. What if we had realtors do this thing that these other people do, and the realtors get better? So one day I did this 2-hour interview with him, and he had so many tools to help you grow your business. And I knew the audience was loving it, but I also knew they were getting overwhelmed. Have you ever been there? There's so much here. I don't know where to start. So start with the first thing. Let's start by making it easier. Let's start by chunking it into just a couple things you're doing, not 37 things you're doing. And your brain will start to get around it easier and make it work. So I said to him at one point, most people get overwhelmed, and you're a genius in what you're doing. And I said, but I have this belief that almost everything can be grouped into 3 steps. Because most people's brains go 1, 2, 3, many, right? So what if there are only 3 ways to grow a business? I'm going to challenge you right now to take all of your knowledge, all of your skill, all your background and say, if there are only 3 ways to grow any business, what would the 3 ways be? And Jay's a real thinker. And he goes, wow, that is a great challenge. That is a great question. And we finally had to turn the audio off because he was really thinking for a while. And he goes, I got it. Turn it on. And I learned something that I've used for my life forever. And again, you don't have to understand these numbers exactly because some of you haven't even come up with what your business is yet. But I just want to give you a feel about how we, in our head, get in the way of progress by making things bigger than they really are when we can simplify it. He said, Tony, there's only 3 ways to grow a business. I'm going to throw them on the screen for you here. Number 1, if you're going to grow a business, you need to get more customers. That's obvious. So once you come up with your course and we know what it is you want to do, we want to get some customers. And if you want to grow the business, you got to get more customers. Now, if you want to grow your business 33%, that's a giant growth for most businesses. Well, if you had 100 customers, you have to get 33 more, like I said. If you had 1,000, you'd have to get 333 more to get 30% more customers to grow your business 30%. Does that make sense? It doesn't. You don't have to do the numbers perfectly to understand generally what I'm saying. If you wanted to grow your business 100%, and you had 100 customers, you have to get 200 customers. Make sense? But he said, Tony, getting new customers is only one step. I'm going to show you how to grow your business 33% by never getting more than 10% more customers. So if you had 100 customers, you only have to get 10 more. If you had 10 customers, you only have to get 1 more customer to grow your business 33%. So how do you do that? He goes, you go to step 2. Step 2 is you get 10% more customers, but then you get them to spend 10% more money when they do buy from you. He said you get 10% more money by including another choice, like they get 2 courses for the price of 1 plus $10. Or you can have it be a shipping and handling fee for $10. Or you can just raise your price $10. He goes, if you get someone to spend just $10 more and you got 10% more clients, these things compound. And then the third step is get your client to buy 10% more often. So if you had 100 customers, get 10 of them to buy a second time, buy a second product. If you had 10 clients, you get 1 to buy 1 more time. That's 10% more. And when you do this, you'll grow your business 33%. So if I were to show you an example, I'll show you a simplistic example. The numbers can get much bigger, but let's use real small numbers. Let's say you had 100 customers. And let's say they spend $100 for whatever it is you're selling, your course. And let's say right now they buy twice a year. Well, 100 customers who spend $100 twice a year is a $20,000 a year business. Now, if you had 1,000 customers and they were spending $1,000 and did the same thing, you have a $200,000 business. But let's just keep it the numbers simple. You can always add zeros. If you just do 10, 10, 10, and you said, instead of saying I got to get 33 more customers, I just got to get 10 more customers. Instead of 100 customers, I need 110. And instead of spending $100, it's $110. I just find something that adds value to them that's worth $10 more on average. And then they buy, instead of twice a year, 2.2 times a year. That business goes from a $20,000 a year business to a $26,000 a year business. That's a 33.1% increase. Well, what if you just found a way to get 20% more customers? You had 100, now you get 120, 20 more. You got 10, you get 12. If you're spending $100, you get to spend 120. If they're buying twice a year, they buy 2.4 times a year. Now you have a $34,000 a year business, and all you got to do is get 10% more customers, spend 10% a little more, and either buy 10% more often or give you 10% referrals. Now, I can go through this in more detail and will in the course when it's simpler. I ran through this real fast, but my larger point is really simple. Little 1% changes, little 10% changes can make giant changes in your business. But first, what you got to do is slow it down and go, you know what? I'm going to go through this course and I'm going to go through these chunks. There's lots to learn, but each of these will relate to one major thing I'm going to do. And there might be 5 or 6 things you're going to need to do to go from no course to having your own course online, being able to help people, being able to enjoy people, being able to learn, being able to earn, and having some freedom, not only financially, but some freedom emotionally by saying, wow, I got a new business and I can keep building, I keep growing it. And I don't have to make giant strides. You've heard me say this before, I hope. Most people overestimate what they'll do in a year. And they underestimate what they can do in a decade, meaning these little improvements. I've been doing this, what I'm involved with now, for 45 years. So, I mean, I remember in the beginning, I didn't come close to my goals, but now it's light years from where I was because there's this growth that happens with small improvements, small changes. So my message to you is really simple. Look, this is your last chance to really go forward. You know, you got to make a decision. If you don't decide, that's a decision too, right? But it's like, if you look at your life and say, what makes my life work? It's learning to train myself to think and behave and act differently. You need some skills, not just for your business. You need some skills to make your mind and your emotions get you to follow through. And Project Next has them both, because if we would just give you the skills, you'd say, wow, this is really exciting, but I wouldn't know where to start. So if I overwhelmed you a little bit here by going 3 ways to grow your business before you know what it is, just know that the theme I'm trying to get across to you is you don't have to take these giant risks, and you don't have to spend tons of money, and you don't have to try and do Herculean effort. You can make these 1% changes, these little 10% changes after we show you what to do. And pretty soon you're going to start to build something that's really exciting. Something that could be $20,000 or $200,000 or $1 million or more, depending on what size business you have, what size business you want to build. But it comes down in the end to making some decisions where you say, I don't know how to do this, but I want to learn. That was too quick, Tony, right there. But that's why we do this in a course. So we can slow it down, not jam it to you really fast. And you can listen to it and you can re-listen to it. You know, when I would listen to Jim Rohn, my original teacher, I spent $300 for 6 cassette tapes and 6 workbooks. That's what it used to cost then. You couldn't go on YouTube and listen to somebody for free because I invested so much in it. I was going to get everything out of it. And Jim Rohn used to say, repetition is the mother of mastery. Repetition is the mother of skill. If you're going to get something, you got to repeat it. So I would listen to these audios over and over and over again. And I listened to them because I could do it when I was driving in my car. I could do it when I was working out. I could do it when I was cleaning the house. And once you have this course in your hands, you can do the same thing. You'll go through it initially, and then you'll want to repeat it. And what's going to happen, it's going to start sinking in. And at each stage, you'll just do step 1. You don't have to know all the steps. Then just do step 2, step 3, and before you know it, you're going to have yourself a new, meaningful, powerful business that allows you to touch people's lives and earn money too. And so it all comes down to decisions, guys. So I hope today you'll make the decision to join us and really go on this project next. This next project for your life that can open it all up. And I'll tell you, whenever I've had to make a difficult decision, I use this deep scientific technique. It's not scientific at all. I call it the rocking chair test. I remember when I had the chance, I flew a helicopter one time, and it was an amazing experience. I would have been bumper to bumper traffic and missed the flight. And I was able to get a helicopter, and what would have been a 45-minute drive and be late to the airport got me there in 7 minutes. We flew over the top of everybody, and I was like, oh my God, I got to learn to do this. This is like unbelievable. I want to learn to fly a helicopter. I want the freedom of this. But I got all excited about it, and then what happens? You get home, you're busy with all your other work and all your calls, and then it costs too much, and you don't have the time. And your mind, when you don't do things while you're in a peak state, while you're there, while you're right there in it, when you know something's valuable, you got to act on it. It's like that movie I told you about. It's like you only need 10 seconds of courage. Commit yourself, and then you'll follow through and make it happen. And I remember I was like, well, am I going to do this or not? And so one day I said, I'm going to do a little rocking chair test. I'm going to imagine I'm on a rocking chair. I'm 90 years old. I've lived this incredible life. And in one of those versions, I never learned to fly a helicopter. I always sat on the ground, bumper to bumper traffic with everybody else. And I just fully envisioned that life. And then the other one, I learned to fly and took the doors off and take my family and friends and go over where we want and lift off and land where we want to go. And I just saw all the results of a lifetime of that. And it's like, which life do I want? It's pretty obvious. So maybe do a little rocking chair test. What would life be like if you don't master these skills? If you say, well, this was really nice, and you just let the 5 days be over as like, okay, that's it. I'm going to give it a roll. It's not going to give you what you want. And if you went this far and you're actually listening to us today still and you came back, you obviously want more. Now, maybe you already got the course and you want more. That's fantastic. But if you don't have it, now's the time. Do your rocking chair test. Do what's right for you. But I can promise you, you're about to enter an environment where you're going to grow and where you're going to develop some nice friendships with people all over the world, and you're going to develop some skills. And 2, 3, 4 years from now, you'll be light years from where you are today. But the only way you get there is make that investment in yourself. Because when inflation's going crazy, as I said the other day, you ask Warren Buffett, what does he say? His most important investment's in yourself. Invest in your skills. Take it a step at a time. Start to get overwhelmed. Say, no, I'm just going to do a step at a time. And before you know it, you'll be where you really want to be. So I hope this 1%, 10% idea, even if you don't get the numbers yet, I understand that. I hope you get the principle. Because the principle is how to do less and get more results by understanding this idea of chunking or compounding. I hope that's helpful to you guys. And I hope we'll get to see you and get to hear the stories of your results over the next year, year and a half, 2 years, or 3 years as you start to build this. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Dean. Thanks for having me again. God bless to everybody. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, brother. I see it, Gwen. What's up, Sonia? Hey, Brian. Hi, Kristen. Rocking it over there. Good to see you, Stacy. Hey, guys. All right. All right. Okay, guys. Well, this really is the end. There's not going to be any more surprise. Thank you for joining us today. I know this was a surprise. It was last minute. You came here on a Monday. But I hope you see what our whole goal was today, to answer some of those questions that might be keeping you from moving forward, right? Always on the edge of our next level is the most uncomfortable. If you're feeling a little uncomfortable about moving forward, or you already got a red background and you're still like, is this for me? Congratulations. Our next level always lives on the other side of the thing we push through. Nobody wants comfort. nobody wants, like at the end of our lives, we're not going to be glad we played small, right? So to go from where we are to where we want to be, we got to take those bold actions. And for those of you who have faith in Tony and I, we are so excited. We're going to over-deliver in a massive way. We can't wait to show you. And we start this Friday is our first one. We can't wait to hang with you guys. Can't wait to start this journey. Remember, as I shared earlier in the Facebook group, for those that are in, it's about not only uncomfortable action, it's about you going at your own pace. It's not about being better than someone else. It's about being a better version of you than you were last week. So some of you are going to go a little slower. Some of you are going to go faster, but we're going to support you no matter what pace you have. But we're just going to keep pushing you to move forward. We call it a culture of progress. Guys, it's time for next level thinking. It's time for next level action. It's time for next level capabilities. And it's time to tap into that next level that we all have waiting inside of us. And we're so excited for those of you who joined. We added crazy amounts of bonuses. And those of you that will join us, we can't wait to serve. One more last thing. Tony's going to sound like he always says the Ginsu knife, but Tony wanted to add one more thing too, because it's one of his favorite trainings. Pull this up. He did a training with Sage that was unbelievable. It's part of a high-level group that he has. It's, Tony knows the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. And if you don't know Sage, you need to know Sage. She is their chosen family to us. My wife, and we all get along so amazing. She is such an incredible support in my life. She is such an incredible human. And they did a training together. It is just knock your socks off. Tony wanted to include that. I know it's different than a lot of the other things, but man, when it comes to relationship, these guys get it. You'll have access to that too. You could take that down, Mike. So that's it, guys. This has been an amazing journey. Thank you for having faith in us. Thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you for being here on bonus day. And we'd love to serve you inside Project Next. So those who have been waiting, maybe this is the time. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for the love. Thank you for the amazing comments. And we'll see you soon in Project Next. Bye, guys.
If I waited to do this on my own, I would say for sure it would take me at least a year. So it really sped up the process.
I have 3 courses up on Mastermind, and just last week I booked my very first one-on-one client for a 12-week program.
No matter where you are, you're in the right spot.
Dean's experience and Tony's experience, I mean, there's nothing that compares to that.
This would not have been possible if I had not first pivoted.
I spent the money, I was like, I want to do this right. I created a course.
Became unbelievable. I have been a stay-at-home mom for 20 years, and all Sunday, right now, I'm impacting women, making their life better.
Because of believing, I scored a massive consultancy gig.
I've already got one sale, and I'm working on my second sale.
My first sale last week was from somebody from the group.
Literally, I walked away from a 6-figure job to do this because I believe in it so much.
And now I have made my first call. I am so thrilled about it. I'm super excited.
I was on fire. Yes, it was so much easier than I thought.
Dean and Tony are amazing. It's hard to find people like that who are true to themselves and they're true to us. And I can't thank them enough for what they've done.
Because that's who I am. I'm the coach, I'm the teacher. And I knew that before, but now I have the tools to get started.
I already have my first client for 8-week coaching program.
The first webinar, 147 people, 106, 93. I have all thanks to this program, so I'm very, very, very happy.
I'm at the point now where I don't have to work on myself or believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I do. Thank you.
stop beating like you used to. Used to be so numb, but now I'm next to you. You got me feeling some type of way. Was never alone, but always felt so lonely. Was surrounded by, but I was so lonely. But when I met you, my heart turned from stone to gold. And when I'm with you, this feeling I can't control. I never wanna lose this feeling. I'd do anything tonight to lose you. Yeah, I'd do anything, yeah, I'd do anything. Baby, I'd do anything for you. I'm a renegade.